What a week. What a week. What an incredible week. You come off a week ago where you beat the Green Bay Packers and you beat the Detroit Lions. Now you get your face stuffed by the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, and you did get your asses kicked. 24 unanswered points. And now you've got the Bears, the upstart 8-3 Bears on Black Friday. And this is, hey, you know what? I listened to the show this morning, Birds 365, and John McMullen's like, well, the Bears aren't really all that good, even though they did kick the shit out of the Cowboys. They're really not that good. And I'm like, well, John, what makes you think the Eagles are good? What metric are you using that the Eagles are good? You're making it sound like you have a better 8-3 team based on the teams that you beat. I get it. But look at the teams that you've lost to, all underwater, the Giants and the Cowboys. That's the story of the Eagles this year. The Eagles are great with their resume. Then you look at the teams they got beat by outside of Denver. Those other teams are going to be in the top 5. I doubt the Cowboys are going to be in the top 5, but the Giants are going to be in maybe the top 3 in the April draft. Are you crazy? You're making it sound like you're beating great. You're losing to great teams. What are you, college football? Unbelievable. Okay, hey, no question. Look at the polar opposites in weeks here. That's why people say it's a week-to-week league. I love the fact also, hey, a message out to Bob Lang. How about them making Landon Dickerson walk that comment back already? This stuff's like clockwork. A player makes a comment after a game, and he says we weren't prepared. Nick even validates it in his press conference and says, yeah, we should have maybe been more on that with the 5-man front. And then Landon Dickerson goes on WIP and clarifies he didn't mean he was taking any shots at the coaches. Talk about fucking walk back. I mean, there's no way anybody believes anything people say after the game because it's all orchestrated by the PR department and the greatest propaganda department in the history of the league. It's all propaganda. I mean, the guy said it. We weren't prepared. The coach even validated it. Then he walks it back because Herr Bob Lang didn't like the fact that, I mean, the Eagles were taking a shot at the coaches and not having them prepared for the Cowboy 5 front? Got to be kidding me, right? I mean, he basically said it. Super Chats go to the top. Please hit the like button. Howard Eskin today at 4:30. Xander will be in his normal spot at 3:30, and you. Appreciate all of you. Sills, I'm all for Nick Sirianni calling plays again. Let's two birds and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Finally, hire a play caller. How about this? If Nick Sirianni takes over the play calling, he'll be fired by the end of the year because it will expose him on what a shitty coach he really is. By the way, just for craps and giggles, I got a great text message today from Frank Reich. Fortunately, Dan, they're listening. Okay? Hey, Coach, don't worry about it. Anything we say about you moving forward, Coach, will be anything that you have left on this program and said on this program. Okay? Every single thing Frank has said will always be echoed on this program and nothing more. So they're watching. I got this. Xander, I got to send you the text message. It's crazy. The Eagles watch this show on a daily basis, just so you know. Okay? I mean, Nick play caller, be the end of him. Because then you can find out what a shitty play calling guy he is. And by the way, not a shitty play caller when it comes to a passing quarterback, a shitty play caller when it comes to an RPO guy. Okay? Hey, I want to, before before we move on to the topics here, okay? Before we move on to the topics, I want to ask all Eagle fans this question. How many people remember Micah Parsons destroying an Eagle-Cowboy game? Does anybody remember that? Anybody? If you say yes, I'll go, oh, okay, I didn't know. You tell me. Okay? Does anybody remember Micah Parsons destroying a Cowboy-Eagle game? You know, Jeff Kerr and John said I was stupid for saying that they've gotten better. Okay? Does anybody remember Micah Parsons ever destroying a game? I went back and watched that game. Quinnen Williams destroyed the interior offensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Destroyed. He was a one-man wrecking crew. He destroyed the middle of the line for the Eagles. Crushed it. Completely changed the entire landscape of the Cowboy defense and how they went about stopping the run against Philly. He completely overnight changed that game. Go back and watch it. He dominated, was throwing Jurgens and Dickerson around like they were a bag of shit. Completely destroyed them. He was the best defensive football player on the field on Sunday afternoon. I don't ever remember Micah Parsons ever doing that. Ever doing that. So don't talk to me about Micah Parsons and what he brought to the Cowboy defense. He brought ungats. You know what that means in Italian? Shit. Ungats. Quinnen Williams is going to be a handful for the next 5 years, man. That guy's, right now, he's better than Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's not better than that, dude. There is no way. Jalen Carter didn't even have a good game against the Cowboy O-line. Quinnen Williams destroyed the Eagle O-line. Don't talk to me about Carter being a generational tackle. The guy in Dallas is the best DT in the division. By the way, I'm not a Cowboy fan. I'm a good defensive tackle fan. Guys who play the game well. That guy was a wrecking ball. Holy shit, was he great. Tremendous game he played. Go back and watch the 22. He absolutely annihilated the Eagle O-line. And it wasn't close. And I said this on the postgame show to John. John, that guy could be in the worst team in football, and he's going to make a difference on a team because he's just that guy. He's fucking great. Yeah, and by the way, correct. Jalen Carter got handled in that game. He got handled. That was his worst game of the year. He got handled by the Cowboys. Handled. Go watch it. Hey, by the way, it's not an opinion. That's a fact. A complete fact. Handled. I mean, go back and watch it. All right. One other note I want to make before we get into the topics here. I want to show you how predictable your offensive approach is and how limited your quarterback is. I don't know who they had on today. That young kid who they had on and said that Jalen Herz is not limited. Well, I'll tell you what. I've been making the case all year. The coaches think he's limited. You may not be limited, but the coaches sure think that. And as long as the coaches have pigeonholed that guy into who they think he is, the approach is never going to change until Nick Sirianni and that staff are no longer in the building. They think Jalen Herz is that guy, and that's never going to change. They think he's limited, or they would keep the approach going for 4 quarters. And I'm going to show you how predictable this thing has become and how simplistic and elementary, just like Greg Cosell says. Listen to these numbers. How many games have we played? 1 game? Get this. One game. All right. How many games has the Eagles played this year? How many games? Well, they played 11 games? They played 11 games. Have they not? 11 ball games, right? It's 11 games that they've played. Am I correct? It's 11. Okay. Here are the numbers for your number 3 wide receiver on your football team. 16 catches for 204 yards. Between Dotson, Mechie, and Darius Cooper. 16 total catches and 214 yards. It's like you're playing with 10 dudes on the field. That's all season long. You may throw some passes to the running back, your tight end, rest of them, Y and Z. This thing is so predictable. It's elementary. Why? Because the quarterback is limited. You've got 16. I heard somebody on Bird saying they want to go 3 wideout sets. Why? The quarterback's got 16 throws to wide receivers other than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. He doesn't throw them there. I mean, why would you think that they're going to spread the football out? Where in the world would you think they're going to go there? I mean, where? They don't do it. This is fantasy talk. This is complete fantasy talk. When it talks about, let's open the offense up. That's fantasy. You're never going to open the offense up because the guy's limited. Or how about this? Because of the way they coach him. And for the record, you know what? When they did open the offense, he had high turnovers. He had high turnovers in 23, and he had high turnovers a year ago in the first 4 games. I mean, he had like 26 turnovers in 24 games. Not going back to that. They're not going back to that. Limited. Now we're going to get to the topics. I'm going to say this before we get going, too. Herz is a convenient leader. And he is an opportunistic leader. When things are going great, he's out front. When things are going bad, he's in the rear with the gear. Never takes accountability for anything. You know, never. Never will, never has. I called that a situational leader. You know, it's funny. I never heard Tom Brady do one thing. I've never heard Brady ever in a million years. Never not get out in front. Even Mahomes. Never not get out in front, okay, of a problem and try to be a problem solver. Both Nick and Herz are a lot alike. They're not problem solvers. They're just not. They're front runners. They're front runners. When things are going great, everything's great. That's why they can't handle issues. And there's no problem solving. Biggest question mark that Xander asked all morning long, and you know what it is? I mean, how do you fix it? They don't know. Because they're not experienced at fixing problems. You know how they fix a problem? They fire a guy. They don't sit there and work the problem. Their idea is because they're going to try and continue to win games from the owner's box. And that's why you've left numerous Super Bowls on the table, is because you're not going to be a dynasty from the owner's box. The coaches are in this with the players. Players win championships. Coaches win championships. Front offices, they're so important at putting the right people in place. But when it gets to a point where you're getting away, now you're a fucking nuisance. Why do you think Jimmy and Jerry couldn't get along? Because Jerry got in the way. You know how Jerry got in the way? Jimmy Johnson was fired. What have they done since? What have the Cowboys done since over the last 31 years? They've won 6 playoff games in 31 years since Jimmy Johnson left. Jerry got in the way. That thing could have been the Patriot dynasty. It should have been. Nope. Got in the way. Egos. Listen, in pro sports, egos are. Look at what the ego did to the Chicago Bulls. It was a battle between Jordan and Jerry Reinsdorf and Jerry Krause. Michael Jordan believed the players on the court won titles. Reinsdorf and Krause believed organizations win championships. Well, after Michael Jordan and Pippen left, what have the Bulls done since? You can have a philosophy on how you build shit. End of the day, Jimmy's and Joe's win the titles. I watched my daughter, and when she was in college, play rugby. They had the right people on the team. They had the right leadership in the right place. And you know what they did? They won in spite of suspect coaching. That's exactly what the Eagles are. Like my daughter's rugby team. They win in spite of suspect coaching. When you take that leadership away, I don't care who you got out there. You got a Barry Sanders out there. You got shitty leadership, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. It's called sacrifice. Limited head coach, limited quarterback, same page. That's right. That's why the philosophy remains intact. Listen, I'm going to go back and I'm going to say this about Herz, and I'll go back and I'll put this out there. He has an innate ability to be able to win football games, and he is a winner. There is no doubt about it. But the way they're coaching him, it's like putting somebody in a position that they're not going to succeed in. Good coaching looks at the player and says, what's your skill set? And again, I keep using my kid. Do you know, my wife and I about 4 years ago watched my daughter do something in a game against UCLA. My daughter wasn't the best player on the team, but I'll tell you what she was. She was the most important person on the team. I saw 6 players try to replace her. We're sitting there going, I'm going like, holy cow. She may not be the best player on the team. They couldn't replace her. That's coaching. That's coaching. Putting people in the right spots. That's what Vic Fangio does on defense. It's night and day on the coaching on one side of the football in Philly. You're not going to have an epic collapse like you did before. You know why? You get too many good coaches on defense. You really got shitty leadership on offense. And by the way, one more thing, Jordan Mailata is a mouthpiece now that he borrowed from Jason Kelce. He's now the official mouthpiece that I guess was passed down from Jason Kelce. What'd you expect him to say? Seals, who's a better dynasty? The 24 Eagles, that's not a dynasty. That's 1 year. Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Let's get that fact right. Okay? A dynasty is not a 1-win Super Bowl team. Cowboys won 3. You're not even the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been to 3 straight, and they've been to 5 in the last 6 years. I mean, dude, you're not in the room with them teams. You're good, but you're not in the room with them teams. I'd say this. You're the best team in the NFC for sure. Sills, you just brought up Barry. Those Detroit teams didn't win anything, but Barry is a legend. How good is their line at the time, or was it all Sanders? I thought their line was good. They had Lomas Brown. It was just made the finalists for the Hall of Fame, which we're very excited about. Lomas is one of my dear friends, and I'm so happy he made the finalist list for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That came down today. We'll look at that list a little bit later on. Lomas Brown belongs in Canton. He's been a friend of mine since I was 19 years old. I've known that man over 40 years. Former teammate, played against him in college and in the pros. Just an absolutely spectacular man. And you see, both he and I have a long-time relationship that went back years and years ago when he played with the Gators and I was with the Hurricanes. So, thank you, Ryan. They had a bunch of good players. Eric Andelsack, when he got killed, that hurt that team, but they had a bunch of good offensive linemen on that team. They just never had the quarterback or the defense in Detroit. Wasn't quite the Cowboys O-line. And once again, you got to remember something about the Cowboy O-line. That was constructed mostly by Tom Landry. Mark Tuney was brought in by Landry. Crawford Kerr was brought in by Landry. Nate Newton was brought in by Landry. Kevin Gogan was brought in by Landry. Those guys were all Tom Landry guys. Coach brought him in. What was the one thing they didn't have? They didn't have Emmett. Emmett transformed that offensive line. 2 years previous, had won 4 games with Coach Landry's final season. I was there. And then when those guys went on, and they brought in Stepnoski, then they started moving pieces around. Nate became a Pro Bowler because you had Emmitt Smith. Darren Woodson belongs in the Hall of Fame. Heck of a football player and a good man, too, by the way. Sills, did you hear Jay Mack tell reporters to shut up during the Vic interview? You're rubbing off on him. Hey. Yeah, well, don't tell that to Bob Lang. Hey, Bob Lang, I'll tell you what, man. He calls up my friend Frank. I'm not going to go there. Forget it. Okay, we're not going down that lane. Jimmy Johnson made exactly 66 transactions to put the team together. I just watched a documentary about him. Absolutely. He created the value chart. He really built that football team really from rounds 2 down. Jimmy made more trades than every team in the NFL combined. He was the first guy who really created trading around players. Okay? Go there, Sills? No. You know why? I have too much respect for Frank Reich. Too much respect for him. Okay? And I have zero respect for Bob Lang, their PR guy. Zero. Guy used to get pissed off at me, I told you guys, because I was friends with Mr. DeBartolo. I'd known Mr. DeBartolo for 35 years. This guy was trying to get in between me and him, and guess what happened? Mr. DeBartolo wanted to fire his ass because he was Carmen Policy's do-boy. Seals was pretty not awful, or was pure heat, true winner. True heart, pure winner. Hey, listen, that was his first game back in 9 weeks. I don't really think they were sharp, but I got to tell you, Carolina, that's got to be one of the worst 6-5 football teams I've ever seen. Holy cow, are they bad? I don't know how they're 6-5 and still in the race for the NFC South. That just shows you how bad the South is. It is bad. Danny didn't mean Eagles dynasty. He meant Eagles dynasty because that's what happened this year. Okay? Bob Lane got agents in the chat. Yeah, right here is one of them. Oh, by the way, well, every year I was at Notre Dame, let me think. 57-7 and 24-0. Let's see. That comes out to 81-7. Boy, those games with Notre Dame and my teams were really close. 81-7? I mean, sure. That's like me playing against Lehigh with my Miami teams. Lehigh would give me a better game than those Notre Dame teams would. And one of those teams was Lou Holtz's teams. We beat them 24-0. We went into South Bend and beat the piss out of them. Somebody asked me after the game, what'd you make of Notre Dame? The famous line, touchdown D just took a knee. They've never been competitive. Notre Dame was terrible. I mean, Notre Dame used to get put on our schedule. We would laugh. Hey, big Jalen Johnson will return versus Philly. I mean, get this. This is what makes you know this guy's a loser. Irish are better than Miami right now. Oh, wait. Even though they fucking beat them. Here's a guy here that will go like this. He gives credit for a guy in a fist fight that gets his ass kicked. Isn't that crazy? So Miami beats Notre Dame in a fist fight, and he gave credit to the guy who got beat in a fist fight. Typical guy who's on that side of the aisle. You never, ever want to give anyone credit for kicking the shit out of somebody. You want to make your own stupid narrative. Hey, they beat them. So what? Doesn't matter. Oh, okay. Okay. Seals, do you think your Miami teams would be successful in the NFL? Shit, Jimmy Johnson thought that the team that I played on, the 86 and 87 team, could have beat that Cowboy team that went 1-15. Michael Irvin said it too. I don't know about that. The worst team in the NFL will kick the shit out of the best team in college football. The Saints would beat Alabama, them teams. Okay? Don't kid yourself. When you get to the NFL, it's a different world, dude. These men get paid, and these are the 1,500 greatest players in the world that play in the NFL. They are the 1,500 greatest players. I told you, there's only been 16,000 men that have ever played in the NFL. Over 107 years of this league. Okay? I mean, Kelsey said something critical of Herz. I wonder how the fans will spin it. They all tell Shady to shut up. He didn't win. Imagine that. Now you're going after people like Shady McCoy. You're going after Hugh Douglas. Hugh Douglas said something too. Can you imagine Dak on this team? Ooh, wait, what? Hugh Douglas, who's on the air at WIP, said yesterday, can you imagine if Dak Prescott was the quarterback with this talent, what that offense would look like? He's taking backlash for that. Don't talk about baby Jesus Herz. No way. Your little boyfriend, man, anybody throws any shade at him or being critical, you guys start moaning like bitches. Jesus criminy, it's a football player. What are you, related to him? Gives a shit. Dude, fall in like with your players, not in love with anybody. The organization doesn't trust Herz at quarterback. Throwing less gives us the best chance to win? Absolutely. Think about that. It's an admission by the organization. They got the evaluation of him wrong after 22 season. Well, here, wait a minute. Let's see where he is now in attempts. Let's go down the list and see where he is and see if your philosophy is correct. He's got to be, again, let's see if the organization really believes what they're thinking about him when it comes to passing attempts in the NFL. Where's Herz ranked? Let's see. Jalen Herz right now is ranked 19th in passing attempts. 19th. What does that tell you? Organization doesn't believe in him. 19th. Here are the guys that are ranked ahead of Herz. Tagovailoa, Jordan Love, Bryce Young, Geno Smith, Caleb Williams. are asked to do more than Herz. By the way, that's not an opinion. Those are facts. Those are facts. Those are not opinions. Okay? I mean, yeah, Hugh Douglas came out and said, hey, what do you think this offense would do if Dak Prescott were the quarterback? They would have it completely, get this, they would trash all the shit they're doing now. And they would go to a more open offense. That's what they would do. Same thing they did in Indianapolis with Jacoby Brissett versus Andrew Luck. What would make you think they would do anything different? You think they're going to tell a guy like Justin Herbert or Dak Prescott to throw less with the skill set that those guys have? Not likely. They control the quarterback. The quarterback is controlled. He's in a controlled environment. Jalen Hurts' offense is like a formaldehyde jar. It really is. It's like a formaldehyde jar. It's contained. And they keep it in that jar. Come hell or high water. I'm not wrong. Look at how they're coaching him. I mean, look at how they coach him. Get this, guys. This is not an opinion. I'll let you know when I give you an opinion. That ain't an opinion. He's one of the least volume passers in the league because that's by design. The coaches want that. They put him in a formaldehyde jar. They don't think he can win by himself throwing the football. That's Nick Sirianni. Hell, to some extent, that's Jalen Hurts too. Absolutely. And that's Kevin Patullo, the middleman. He's kind of like the bastard son. Between divorces, you don't know who to go to. Does he go to Jalen? He's got to stick with Nick because Nick gave him the job. Sirianni was on WIP this morning. He said nothing but word salad to the most lame questions with no pushback from the host. Listen, they're in a tough spot at WIP. Let me give you a Kim Sileo, producer, not just my wife. Let me give you a producer. Hey, you want to work Monday? You better not ask tough questions to a team that's on your station. Because if that team starts throwing feedback, you're fired. You want to work Monday? Ask lame questions. You're not going to ask any pivoting and riveting questions that makes the guy have to pivot off of some of the shit he says. Those guys got mouths to feed. It's the holidays. They're not getting fired for doing something that I would do this. You know what I would say? Hey, Nick, you ever thought about changing the coordinator because the guy really doesn't seem to be qualified? I would be fired that next day. My wife would go, congratulations, you got fired during the holidays. Because that's what Bob Lang and the Eagles do. I'm just giving you what it is. No shade on the host. They want to work too. They want to work too, dude. You know, they got to feed their families. But if you think you're going to get the truth from those guys, you're fucking high. Oh, by the way, 97.5, you want access to any Eagle players? You better not be stupid on the air or you'll never get access. Remember, this is key fob talk. You know why the coaches and all the media guys never attack coaches and all that stuff? Because if you attack Howie or if you attack the coaches and the philosophy of the coaches, you're not getting back in that building. Plain and simple. And me telling you this alone would have gotten me fired on WIP. Because that means this. Guess what? The onion's been peeled. The onion's been peeled. Do you really want to have sports talk? Or do you really want to have jive talk? That's why you come here. You can disagree with it. That's fine. But you have been polluted for decades. Hey, ever since they got rid of Eskin and Angelo and them dudes and all them guys that used to be on IP, that station's never been the same. It's a mouthpiece station now. Malott is now a mouthpiece, taking over for Kelsey as a mouthpiece. Sills, where's the biggest weakness on the O-line? If it's interior, I'm hearing the draft is deep next year at the position. I think you got really two good tackles, but I think Lane Johnson, Father Time's caught his ass. I think the injuries have caught up with Landon Dickerson. He's no longer a top 15. Hell, I don't think he's a top 10 guard now. The center is one of the worst players at that position in the NFC. And Tyler Steen doesn't have the presence that Becton has. He's played okay. He's not been a liability, but he gets beat all the time. Has he played well? Yeah. He's a C student. Dickerson's playing deep football. Landon's playing C- football. And that's why Quinnen Williams beat the piss out of them. He's an A player. He destroyed them. He single-handedly destroyed them inside. Single-handedly. Just destroyed them. Dak is a better fucking passer than Jalen Hurts will ever be in his entire career. And because he hasn't won a Super Bowl doesn't mean he's better. Dak's not better than Hertz. Damn. Hertz won a damn Super Bowl. Dak has won nothing. Just because he won the Super Bowl doesn't mean he's better. Since 2022, the Eagles only good as the coordinators. Correct. Because the head coach is not very good. Sounds like state-run radio, Sills. Well, that's why you got George Soros owning it. That's why George Soros owns the network now. Well, then Hertz choked too on Sunday. No? How about them drives after the first three? Did he not choke? Did he choke a 21-point game lead away? Yes or no? Did Jalen Hurts choke away a 21-point lead? Yes or no? Did he not choke a 21-point lead away? Because he couldn't keep the sticks going. Yes or no? Get this. Watch this. Hertz did not choke away a 21-point lead. Oh, Nick did. Nick did. Okay. What's this? I want to show you the love affair. He took a bad sack. I was asking about the other 8 series. Did he choke away a 21-point lead in that game on Sunday? You bet your ass he did. Glazed donuts. Look at them all. Look at all the glazed donuts. Here's a glazed donut right here. Glazed donut. Limited. Very limited. He's a better version of Tyrod Taylor. He's the closest thing to a Wildcat quarterback. 19th for a $51 million a year player, Sills. That's insane. You'd think they would tell Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, we're going to make you throw less because it gives us the best chance to win. It's their skill set. Correct. That's exactly right. You imagine going to any one of those other guys? Hey, listen, we want you to throw the ball less. Howie Roseman put the best talented football team around Jalen Hurts. You know why? At times, he looks like a stiff. Well, I agree with you here. They did ask Allen. They have actually. But listen, They have actually had Allen throw less. Correct. Okay? And he's been a better OC. But come on, dude. There's not the same skill set on that Buffalo Bills offense that you have in Philly between Brown and Devontae and Barkley, I guess. Hey, you could make the comment that Cook is better than Barkley now. Why not? No, because he had fucking Rager, Quez Watkins, and Greg Ward. Dude, Donovan McNabb had nobody but T.O. for 1 year. If you think Sirianni's smart enough to call plays, then I would check your own IQ because you're a dumb fuck. Who in the world would ever think that guy is a good fucking play caller is insane. Oh, by the way, to this guy's point, if you replace Kevin Patullo, who are you replacing him with, Nick? He stinks. He's proven that. You're going to replace him with Kevin Patullo with Nick? Fuck, leave Kevin Patullo in there. With Nick? How many years are we stuck with Herz before we start looking for his replacement? What cap hit are we looking at? What kind of cap hit are we looking at? Pretty significant for 2 more years. Peak levels of delusion today. They think the answer to fix Jalen is firing a coach and getting rid of AJ. He will surely be better then. Hey, get this too. Did you see the new thing coming out? Who said? I posted it on my X account. Who said that? Get this. It might be time to trade AJ Brown. Who came out and said that in Philly? They're starting it. They're already starting it. Here it is. Donovan McNabb says this year may need to be AJ's last in Philly. To make Jalen Hurts better, it'd be the same equivalent of getting rid of Tyreek Hill in Kansas City. McNabb is under the notion that Hurts has the same skill set as Mahomes. That guy's fucking delusional. He's delusional. It's the mentality of how they approach the game. It's nothing to do with AJ. Man, just like Judas, you all will betray him. All of you are going to betray AJ. You may think right now you're not, but you're going to. It's your nature. Since Hertz is limited, wouldn't that mean we need the opposite of a predictable and remedial playbook? Yeah, you keep saying Hertz is why the playbook is trash. The playbook is trash because Sirianni's a moron. Correct. I never told you they're coaching him right. I told you they're coaching him like shit. That Hertz sucks. Doug drafted Jalen and Doug ran an RPO-style offense. Nick's offense is built for the likes of Rivers. But the reality is Nick's O is Frank's offense, who has also an actual play caller. Correct. Kevin, keep for now. Just go find a good offensive coordinator consultant like Frank. Xander, I missed one too, if I'm not mistaken. I think we had a guy in here for I think I missed one. It was a membership one, if I'm not mistaken. Okay? Maybe Dan will tell us before the end of the show. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but put it out there again. Okay? Hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. Thank you, guys. Hey, listen, I didn't tell you they're coaching him right. The way they're coaching him now, he stinks. They haven't had a decent coach for him in 3 years. I mean, right? 3 years they haven't had a coach for him. 3 years. Cowboys will take A.J. Brown. Why would you want A.J. Brown? Oh, you replace CD. Hey, you know what you guys got to do in Dallas? You got to replace, I think what's happened to CeeDee Lamb, I think that, something's happened to his hands. I don't know, they've turned into brick. Because he's brick hands. Any big game I watch CeeDee Lamb, that guy's part of the 88 club. Holy cow. You need to get rid of that. That guy's not good in big games. He's just not good. Sills, how can you say they're not coaching him right, but on the other hand, he's limited? Look at this guy here. He can't figure that out. How can you say he's limited? Get a coach that understands his limitations? Put an offense around him that best fits his skill set? You can't understand that. You can't understand. Does everyone else understand this idiot? How can you say they're not coaching him right? Then on the other hand, you say he's limited. Hey, Forrest, over here. You're coaching him wrong because you're coaching him like he's Phillip Rivers. He's not. Coach him like he's Jalen Herz. You okay? Would your mom drop you on your head when you were a kid? You all right? Talk about ignorant and dumb. Maybe you need to snap out of it, guy. That's the essential part of my conversation about him. He's limited. Coach him away from those limitations. Coach, he has strengths. Nobody said he didn't. Obviously, he's won. They're not coaching him that. Is it that fucked up where you can't see that on Sundays? Hey, by the way, I'm sick and tired of bringing this point up that I brought up first in this market. Why do you think they start the game out great? Because the fucking plays are scripted. When they have to have an in-game feel for it, they're not qualified. Hey, I'll tell you what. Vic doesn't need scripted defensive plays to run at offenses. Why? Because he has the innate ability to have a feel for the game. And he doesn't go off analytics. If there's one thing that those coaches do, they listen to the analytics department. Vic doesn't. And you can see the difference in styles. One is heavily analytics. The other is not. Plain and simple. Vic coaches with a feel for the game. Nick and KP coach by the numbers and the percentages. That's why you don't have a feel for the game. That's why that play calling wobbles. They're not qualified. You can feel, how about this? You can feel it. One side, man, Vic brings pressure at the perfect time. I guarantee you, that's not off of a chart. That's not off of a first 14-play script. That's why both sides look so different. By the way they're running the offense, you're now starting to affect the defense. Only a matter of time before massive injuries start to happen on the defensive side. You're seeing it now. If you keep going the way, remember I said this, if this offense keeps going the way it is, by the end of the year, going into the playoffs, you would have destroyed your defense. You're seeing it now. This is a precursor of things to come. Remember I said that. This is a precursor of things to come. If that offense doesn't start getting some stability, you can't keep putting those guys out with sudden change and think you're not going to get people injured. And what the league has done now, you put them on a short work week, coming off a tough divisional game against a rival. And now you got them going against an upstart Chicago Bears team. Listen, Bears aren't ready, but I'll tell you what, they may be. The Bears don't know how good they are yet. They don't. Are you better? Of course you are. Are you more experienced? Of course you are. All the things are on your side. Everything's on your side. Still got to play 60 minutes of football. Go play football. You guys thought the Cowboys were going to lay down after you put 21 on them. What happened? They fought back. Cowboys showed up. You were shocked. Imagine that. The Cowboys showed up. Dak jumping into the end zone the way he did. I've never seen Prescott do that. He wanted that game. Prescott wanted that game. Did Herz? Our issues will not go away until we hire a coach who can actually call plays in terms of continuity and year-over-year production from our offense. Yeah, because you know why? Nick is he's at the mercy of what the coordinator does. Okay? No. Because I don't think the Cowboys are that good a team. Who said the Cowboys are good? Who's saying that? I think the Cowboys are getting better. I'll tell you what. Jerry Jones has made the football team better, whether you like it or not. Quinnen Williams. And, hey, by the way, after the initial media took a shit on Jerry, how do you look at that Pickens and Quinnen Williams deal now? How do you guys look at that deal that the Cowboys made? What do you think? Media took a shit on Jerry, right? How do you guys look at the Cowboys and what the owner did by getting Pickens and Quinnen Williams? So they got rid of Parsons for Quinnen Williams and basically George Pickens. How's that working out? They got 2 for 1. I don't know. Looks pretty damn impressive to me. And they got Kenny Clark. Do you think they will keep Kevin for next year so Hertz isn't having a relearn another OC? Yeah, because they're going to dump it on AJ. The reason why the football player causes distractions in the locker room, and he's going to be your scapegoat. Absolutely. I mean, Kenny Clark, basically, with getting rid of Parsons and the money they moved, they got Kenny Clark, George Pickens, and Quinnen Williams. They got 3 for 1. They got 3 for 1. I don't know. How does that not make your fucking team better? By adding 3 quality players and 1 dominant player versus having 1 guy who made no impact on your football team. Do you know that John McMullen and that guy Jeff Kerr were telling Xander that didn't make sense? So you got Kenny Clark, George Pickens, and Quinnen Williams. In my book, those guys beat you Sunday. Hey, that's right. And a first rounder. The way some people look at the game and want to be right. So let's do that again. You got a first rounder for the April draft coming up, right? You got Kenny Clark, you got Quinnen Williams, and you got George Pickens this offseason because you dumped the guy and you didn't want to pay one dude all that money. I don't, and you got a first round pick. That's bad? That's not getting better? Under what metric? Howie would make that deal. I mean, fucking, oh no, I got 3 really, really good and 1 dominant. By the way, Quinnen Williams and Pickens are dominant players. Those 2 guys may make fucking the all-pro team. I mean, People just pay attention to big name Sills. They don't pay attention to the quality of the players and the picks. And plus the volume of how it makes your team better. Jerry got the football team better, man. At the end of the day, he was right. Sills glazing the Cowboys on Tuesday. Why? They just beat the fuck out of you. Why not? I'd like to see if Petula is actually smarter than he's forced to be by Nick. Maybe see if Scott Loeffler can do a better job in continuity since he was at least a college head coach and a play caller too before when he was at Michigan. Okay? Because the league contradicts itself every fucking week. 2 weeks ago, you're calling Herz because of his perfect game. Back. Now he's not. When will you learn, guy? Your constant not understanding of the game is also outrageous. I mean, seriously. I don't know how you watch a game. You must watch it with a Madden stick in your hand or something else in your hand. I don't know. Blow up doll or a Madden stick? I don't know. Probably both. Pickens, that's going to be a tough putt. But remember, they can franchise tag him twice. Because they have his rights, they can franchise him. That's probably the lane they'll go down until they can figure out whether or not CD's really the guy and move off of him. I'm not moving off of Pickens. I'd franchise tag his ass twice. It's honestly the best transaction in the last 5 years at least, Sills. I also somehow find it hard to believe that Jerry did that on his own. Someone helped. Yeah, Steven's been doing a lot of that with him. Okay? We lose into the Bears Friday. I see Nick on that BS at the press conference. Pickens is a free agent at the end of the year? Okay. He's a free agent. I thought there was another year on there, so you may have it right. I'll have to double check. Sills, what does Michael Irvin think of CeeDee Lamb? Not happy with what his catches that he had on, or lack thereof, on Sunday. We stomping out the Bears. You haven't stomped anybody out this year except the New York fucking Giants. Who are you kidding? 30. He's going to, yeah, no, you're right, Martin. He'll want about 35, 33, somewhere in there. Sills, I call it the Herz cult. Oh, it is. Everybody's else at fault but the count. Well, guess what? Most of them follow in line with the quarterback's personality. When shit hits the fan, he goes to the rear of the bus. When shit's going good, he's at the front driving the bus. That's who Jalen Herz is. He's a situational leader. He doesn't lead when shit's going bad. He's not the biggest voice in the room. It's A.J. Brown. How many times did I bring that up with Xander Krause? Why is it always A.J. talking? Where the fuck's the quarterback? How come the quarterback doesn't ever step out in front? Not him. Let someone else get hit by a train. I'm making $51 million. Why should I do it? I'm a company guy. I sit at the corporate table with the rest of the big wigs, with Jeffrey Luri, hang out with Jordan. Why would I hang out and do that? Why would I hurt my reputation with the organization? They love me. Hey, I do what they want to do. They put me in a formaldehyde jar. I make my money. Let AJ get run over by a bus. Why would I want to stick up for him? Why would I want to stick up for a fucking coach? I don't have to. I'm in my own world. I got my own cubicle at NovaCare. Not anybody can come near it. That's who Herz is. That's my impression of him. And when cameras are on, he's on. When the cameras are off, he's off. All that shit's bullshit. It's Tiger Woodish in a way. Hey, when everybody's watching me, I'm over here. Yeah, but when they need you the most, when shit's running off the rails, you're nowhere to be seen. Where was he when 23, when fucking shit was going sideways? Where was his leadership then? Nowhere. Zero. Come on, man. You know bullshit artists when you see it, don't you? Fangio versus Johnson and Dennis Allen versus KP favors Chicago. I don't know about Fangio Johnson. I'm going to take, hey, there'll be very few games that I'm going to go into where Fangio is going to be not the favorite in that. I think Fangio and Joe Brady will be a good one in a couple weeks when they play the Bills up at Orchard Park. That'll be pretty good. Plus Allen. I want to see that. Okay, but no. Allen versus KP, I'll take Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen gave Tom Brady trouble. Think of this. I mean, Tom Brady didn't have very good games against the Saints when he was in Tampa Bay. Or for that matter, any Dennis Allen defense. Dennis Allen is a good defensive coach. Okay? He's a really good defensive coach. And he understands. He gets defenses. He understands how to put pressure. He's a good defensive guy. Go back and look at the record. Tom Brady didn't have a winning record versus Dennis Allen's defenses when Sean Payton was the coach of the football team. He did not. They always struggled against the Saints. Those are facts. Go look at the record. He's a damn good coordinator. Okay? We winning out. Not likely. So get this guy. You're winning out, and you're going to play this week in your secondary. Sidney Brown and Keely Ringo. Good luck. Thank God it's Caleb Williams. Sills, doesn't Hertz's leadership mentality as a front runner remind you of a certain quarterback that played in Green Bay under McCarthy? Yeah. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I don't think the Cowboy fans know that they're still not winning. The Cowboys aren't winning the East. The Cowboys need to worry about Kansas City this week. Worry about Kansas City. Get above 500. I can't remember the last time the Cowboys were above 500. It's got to be years. When's the last time you were above 5? Hey, can somebody do me a favor? When's the last time the Cowboys were above 500 in November? Was it 3 years ago? Right? I mean, 3 years ago, right? Hang in there, guy. You haven't been above 500. It's got to be going on 3 years. Somebody look that up for me. When the last time the Dallas Cowboys, 2023? I mean, where are we going here? Worry about the game this week on Thanksgiving against the Kansas City Chiefs. And get yourself above 500 first. Seals, whoever Hertz's coordinator is next year, it's got to be from Buffalo or the Colts. It fits Hertz's skill set. Absolutely true, Kyle. I'll take that. As of right now, I have reason to believe we're losing this week to Chicago. I thought weeks ago this feels eerily similar to 23. The offense is melting down. Okay? Your offense is melting down. Your defense is starting to take on friendly fire now. It's happening in front of your eyes. It's not that hard to see. You're breaking down because you're not deep. You have no depth at key positions. Safety, corner, edge. Remember I told you. Remember I said this to you too? When I saw Jalen Phillips show up on that injured list, I knew that you were in for a rough game on Sunday. And it was. He doesn't play well when he's necked up. Told you this. I repeated it. When healthy. How many people heard me say that? When healthy. He's a dynamic player. When he's not healthy, he's not. Okay? He's not. Okay? Well, you'll be right or I'll be right. If they lose to the Bears, do the Eagles completely collapse? No. Well, depending on what the defense does and how the defense looks. How you're going to see how the football team looks coming out of this week. By the way, it's a rough week. Short work week. You played a division rival on Sunday and you got rolled over. Hey, get this. You were completely outplayed. Let me think. Let me go back. I'll tell you how long you were outplayed in this football game. Let me take a look at this. And let me go down to that chart that I had from yesterday. So let's go, and I'll tell you how long you were outplayed in that football game. Let's go down here, and we'll go, let's see. 7, 8, 9, probably for around 45 minutes of the 60-minute football game, you were outplayed by the Cowboys. For 45 minutes, you were outplayed by Dallas, both offense and defensively. You were outplayed. You outplayed Dallas for about 15 minutes. Then after that, it was over. 45 minutes, they put up 24 unanswered points on you. Nobody will tell me anything different. You got completely outplayed. 45 minutes, the Cowboys outplayed you. 45 minutes in a 60-minute ball game. You played great for 15 minutes. And you know what you get? You get people dissecting 15 minutes of good ball and going, why can't we do that? 15 minutes of ball? You only played 15 minutes of good football on both sides. Then, wheels came off. Wheels came off. It's not the defense. This pathetic it's not that the defense is pathetic like 23. It's not. It's the inability of the consistent offense that will lead the defense completely to be worn down. It's the Chip Kelly effect. Yes, Harv, that's exactly right. The defense was, hey, get this. The defense was ascending. But because of all the 3-and-outs, the limited plays, the penalties, the 100 yards in offensive penalties you gave them, plus the 476. Like I said yesterday, think about it, Harv. You gave the Cowboys 600 yards in offense. Between the penalties and their yardage, you gave them 600 yards. How are you going to win when you only play 15 minutes of good football and you give the opposing team 600 yards of opportunity? Huh? Where are you going to win that game? And let's put something else here. You're talking about a 4-5-1 team that's getting better. They're not in the elite upper end teams. You know where they are? They're like Chicago. They're kind of like Chicago's talent. But they're getting better. Their quarterback is good enough. Okay? Offense, dude, the offense is the crux of the whole problem. When Jalen is traded and the cult of Jalen goes crazy, it'll be a fun day. Dude, get this. You know the craziest comment that people make in here? You wouldn't want a better offensive coordinator, or you wouldn't want a better offensive quarterback, and you wouldn't want to upgrade a guy who's a better skill. Like you wouldn't want a Lamar Jackson, or you wouldn't want a Josh Allen, or you wouldn't want a Justin Herbert. You're okay with limited Herz, which is fucking crazy. Okay? Thank you, Twez. Appreciate you, bro. Guys, please hit that like button. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. The entire offense is out of sync and not performing. It's absolutely causing issues on. Yeah, you're starting to see that now. Now, you're not very deep. Look at what and I have been telling you guys. Last year, when you lose Adoree Jackson, you got Isaiah Rodgers. This year, you got Kelee Ringo. Last year, you had Slay and Rodgers. This year, you have Ringo and you have Adoree Jackson. What are you talking about? That's not even on the same island. Last year you had Gardner Johnson and Tristan McCullum. This year you have Makuba, a rookie, and Sidney Brown. How are you on the same island? The talent level alone in conversation is, again, these aren't opinions. Those are just better players. Those are just better football players, let alone schemes or what have you. By the way, let me show you something else. Okay, a year ago, when you had Mekhi Becton, your backup was Steen. You're playing the 2024 backup as a starter. You're playing a backup going into the Chicago game at both safety and corner that were not even backups to a year ago on defense. I mean, nobody went to Keely Ringo a year ago. They went to Isaiah Rodgers. But people thought you, just because you gave Howie the benefit of the doubt. I'm not. Hey, by the way, I don't think you were wrong doing that. Steen was not a rookie last year. Steen was a rookie last year. You might want to look at your depth chart, dude. This is also why the best friend to a defense is a consistent and productive running game to chew up the clock and keep those defenses fresh. Harv, one other thing, too, to remember, when you don't have a run game, you give possessions back to the opposing team. Okay? When you lead the league in 3 and outs and you don't have a productive run game, you're giving those possessions back. Okay? You're giving possessions back. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. That's how they came back from 21 down. If you had any kind of run game, say it was in the top 15, okay? Say it was top 15, top 10, top 12. You're going to chew that clock up. Cowboys are going to be limited in opportunities to come back. Absolutely. When you keep 3 and outing them, penalties, short drives, stopping those drives, Cowboys were able to roll back because you gave them the ability to roll back. And then the Cowboys took the game from you. Cowboys didn't steal that game. The Cowboys took that game from you. You had it. They took it from you. And you gave it to them. With your inability. ACL's time of possession was our bread and butter last year. And what else? Winning first and second down. Having the offense constantly in good field position and 3rd and short. None of that's the case this year. None of that's the get this. Rashad, think about it. Last year, you won first and second down every single game. Okay? Won first and second down. Field position was insane great. That's not the case this year. And with the penalties being added, drive killers. By the way, too, in my opinion, that's a lot to do with coaching penalties. The Birds are built for a pocket passing quarterback that goes through progressions and processes info fast and distributes the football to open guys, which is why you invest in an offensive line and you pay $30+ million for wide receivers. Correct. That's correct. They built the team for the wrong quarterback. That's why they're trying to reinvent the quarterback into that player. They're trying to get value for their money. They're battling themselves. Right? Hey, am I right when I say this? Are you guys 4-3 over the last 7 games? That sound right? 4-3? Here again, like I said, yeah, you're building the team You're building the football team, and you built it for the wrong quarterback. I mean, they totally have. Hey, you know what? I'm going to say this to you about this tank thing. Guys, here's a rule for the NFL for all of you to know. The organizations, no matter who it is, the Buccaneers got this guy, Sean Tucker. You know why they're not starting him and playing him? And it took them so long, even last year with Bucky Irvin, because they were playing Rachaad White and they were paying him. In today's NFL, okay? In today's NFL, if you pay him, you're playing him. Those are the rules. Tank's not the answer. By the way, you start giving that guy more touches, that guy is known, has a reputation of putting the ball on the ground. Why do you think they don't give him a lot of touches? They're afraid. The same way they're afraid of Herz throwing the ball a lot. Tank Bigsby's not going to carry the ball a lot. The more chances of you giving him the ball, the more likelihood he's going to put the ball on the ground. That's who the player is. That's why he gets limited play. And you see, in limited play, in that role, he's good. But when you start giving him high volume, he's going to hurt you in a game where he puts the ball on the ground in a critical situation. The Eagles are not going to, they're not going to gamble on that. The Eagles don't gamble, dude. Like, how about this? Nick Sirianni, Kevin Patullo, and Jalen Herz. You're never going to see those guys at casinos. They don't believe in gambling. They're not going to gamble. They're just not. They're going to stick with analytics. Vic, you'll see, in my opinion, at a casino. Vic will be at a casino. Not one of those offensive guys. I love the new thing, too. All of a sudden now Jeff Stoughton's a bad coach. No. What you guys thought is that you put all your money into Barkley. You know what's funny? I got put on CNN last year by Jake Tapper. Damn. I was off by a year. Barkley's out of gas. It was just a year late. I missed it by a year. Sorry, Jake. Hey, you got your Super Bowl. He shocked the world. Big Sills was off a year on Barkley. I said the guy was out of gas in New York. Couldn't bring anything to the table. Was off a year. Because here we are. This guy's not better than DeAndre Swift right now. Okay. Your haters being wrong. So you're leaving. Yeah, of course. You know why? Just like they did on Sunday. Telling me, oh, hey, look at this, 21-0. I'm like, yeah, hang in there. Because the Cowboys were shooting themselves in the foot. All of a sudden, what happened? All them guys went away. Because you know why? They didn't want to hear it. What happened? He's having a down year? Like Josh Allen? Josh Allen doesn't have down years. Barkley does. You're Hall of Fame running back, Sue. Hall of Fame. Guy sucks. Hall of Fame. Hey, Sills, if he has a couple more years where he's over 1,600 yards and, he'll make it to Canton. He's 87th in rushing. He's got less than 9,000 rushing yards. He's going to Hall of Fame? Based on what? Frank Gore's got 16,000 rushing yards. 3 times the amount of running that Barkley has in his career. And he's probably not getting in. 1,600 yards. Only Emmitt Smith and Walter Payton have more rushing yards than Frank Gore. And he ain't getting in. But Barkley at 7,000 rushing yards is. Okay, good luck. He ain't got more rushing yards than Fred Taylor. But he has a ring. Okay. Whatever. Okay. Oh, my God. Fucking funny, man. Saquon Barkley's a Hall of Famer. Based on what? Do you know McCaffrey is going to have his third year of 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving? That guy's going to Canton. Nobody's ever done that. Nobody's ever done that. I mean, like ever. Gore has enough 1,000-yard seasons and more consistent longevity. Let's get you in. Been to a Super Bowl. Okay? Nobody would ever say Frank Gore was the quintessential running back of his time. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you for Mr. Dan, and share and subscribe. That's really kind of you. Bro, congratulations. Congratulations to you Cowboy guys. You guys, man, you were down 21-0. I didn't think you had it in you. And you fucking guys battled back and you beat them. Fair and square. Fair and square. You put belt to ass to them with 45 minutes left in a ball game, and Eagle fans don't like to hear that. But Eagles got belt to ass in that football game in Arlington for 45 minutes. That was an ass kicking. 45 minutes of the Cowboys kicking the shit out of the Eagles for 45 minutes. Plain and simple. See, here's what I am. I'm an equal opportunity offender. I don't give a shit about both teams. You got your asses kicked for 45 fucking minutes. Belt to ass by the Cowboys. 24 unanswered. Get this. Not true. 24 unanswered points. Drives that were pathetic. Your last 8 drives, you produced 100 yards and 14 yards per drive with 4 plays because of your penalties and incompetence. And this guy goes, not true. Think about that, folks. 8 drives after the first 3. You had 107 total yards. You had 4 plays per drive for 14 yards. And this guy says, not true. Really? That's called getting your fucking ass kicked. Part of it. Part of it. Yes, belt it. Yeah, 45 minutes. You were taken to the woodshed. Hey, man, what, you don't like it? You don't like glazing somebody kicking the shit out of you? I wouldn't either. Hey, I got something. Hey, you know what I would do? Hey, Steven, at least duck. Okay? Belt to ass. 45 minutes ass beating. I haven't even got to my topics yet. Dallas didn't beat the Eagles. The Eagles beat the... Dumb comment. Completely dumb. 24 unanswered points. You fucking had 14 penalties and 96 yards. You had an incompetent offense with no run game. And the Dallas Cowboys beat you at both lines. Up. Okay, guy. Keep telling yourself that bullshit. If you think you won the line of scrimmages in that game on Sunday, you're high. Where? Oh, Dallas Cowboy O-line won, and the Dallas defensive line won too. Where did you think you won? Where? What are you talking about? Some of you guys watch a glazed donut game. Honestly. Dijon was getting cooked by Pickens all day long. They couldn't handle him. put Cooper DeJean at corner with George Pickens. That was a train wreck. Pickens schooled him. Dude, he was catching footballs, 50-50 footballs in double coverage. Okay? Double coverage he was going up and getting them. That's correct. Hey, Steven, that's the shocking part. It's 24 unanswered. Whew. Okay? John said the Eagles rolled the Bears. Had the Eagles rolled anybody? Oh, yeah, the Giants. Okay. Hey, I don't think the Bears are that great either. But I don't think you're very good either on offense. It's not glazed donuts, it's our offense. Sucked and killed drives with penalties. Okay, that's facts. Dallas didn't stop a nosebleed. Really? They held you under 300 yards in total offense. And because you guys had penalties, that's not on the Cowboys, guy. That's on you. That's an Eagle thing. Cowboys rolled. You had a 21-point lead. How do you explain a 21-point lead that you surrendered with a better roster? Explain that. I'll wait. How do you explain a 21-point lead versus a 4-5-1 team? Because of penalties? What else happened in the game? Turnovers? Okay. I'll tell you what, I saw a guy on special teams get knocked on his ass by Sidney Brown a bunch of times. Go make a play. I saw Dak diving in the end zone. I saw a lot of want to on that Cowboy side. Dude, if you think pointing things out that happened in the Cowboy game is hate, once again, that's a fucking you thing. Who are you blaming then? Penalties, killing drives in the third and fourth. That's a you problem. It's not a Cowboy problem. Took advantage of what? Your mistakes because your incompetence and your inability to stay focused? Okay. How do you constitute Quinnen Williams owning you in the middle? Ain't nothing to do with penalties. That's picking bricks up and placing them over here and picking bricks up and putting them over here. I saw that guy kick the shit out of your interior along with Kenny Clark. That had nothing to do with penalties. That had nothing to do with penalties. Getting your ass kicked. 1-on-1. Bang. Well, we had penalties and turnovers. Yeah, what about Quinnen Williams owning you? What about Carter getting his ass kicked for 4 quarters? What about happened there? What happened to Carter getting his ass kicked? Anything? Paying Carter $35 million for 2025? No way. I'll pick the 50-year option up on that guy. Paying him $35 million for that bullshit? That's not a $35 million defensive tackle. Well, still, he's got a lot of talent. Oh, I know. I ain't paying him that. This guy's had a shitty 2025. You're paying that guy $35 million. When you watch the guy in Dallas who's better. Really? Good luck. $35 million. For a guy that's been up and down all year long. Out of shape and undisciplined. Really? Sure. Why not? You extended Barkley for no reason. I mean, right? Quinnen Williams had a career-high 8 quarterback pressures. Yeah, because he was going against a stiff O-line. That's why. Cam Jurgens was getting destroyed. Didn't you just pay that guy $20 million on a 3-year contract extension? Did you not do that? That guy was on the operating table and you gave him a 3-year extension. He was on the operating table with his back and you gave him $20 a year. And Quinnen Williams made him look worse than Brett Toth. That guy is a force. I see why that guy's the 3rd pick in the draft. Holy shit, can he play? Glazing a good DT, you'll get that all the time here. Hey, quite candid, Jordan Davis has outplayed Carter this year. Carter's been, I don't know, good at times, bad at times, decent, below average. It's been all over the charts. Game here, game there, game here, game there. That guy's not playing like he did a year ago. Why? Because he ain't got great players around him like he did when he had Milton Williams and he had Josh Sweat. What happened? Wait a minute. What happened to Jalen Phillips? I told you, when healthy, he's a really good player. Hey, by the way, I thought I heard John say that Jalen Phillips is as good as Josh Sweat. Really? Well, let's see that. Let's see that. I'm not buying that. I'm going to ask one question before I bring Xander in here. And I'm going to ask one question to all of you here. Okay? Is it too late to fix the Eagle problems? Is it too late to fix the Eagle problems? Do you know what they're saying in Philly right now? Fire the coordinator. For who? That's like being on an airplane. You're halfway across the country. You take off from New York and you're flying to LA and you want to fire the pilot. And you want to hand it over to who? A lesser experienced pilot? Or a worse pilot in Nick? You know what? Let the shitty coordinator land a plane. This is what you signed up for. When Big Sills was questioning the hire, you know what everybody was saying in the offseason? This will be a fucking seamless transition. You know, he's been in the building, getting Nick and Kellen more coffee for the last 4 years, because he's good at that, because he had those quality control jobs. You know what that means? Hey, do me a favor. Go get me some of those Philly glazed donuts. I like Krellers, too. And make sure my coffee's got 3 sugars in them. Thanks. Hey, KP. Also, do me a favor. I also liked a jelly donut, too. Make sure you bring that bitch in for me, too. Oh, yeah, you want to design some plays, kid? Draw them up in the mud. Bring them in. We'll see if we like them. That's Kevin Patullo's jobs he's had in the NFL. This guy was drawing like Sandlot plays. Hey, Nick, what do you think of this? That's coaching? Look at that resume of his. 15 years, he had quality control coaches and special assistant to the special assistant to the special assistant to the wide receiver coach. That's Kevin Patullo's jobs. I'm a special assistant to the special assistant to the special assistant to the water boy. Sign Kevin Patullo. Go get me some glazed donuts, kid. Oh, by the way, make sure the footballs are pumped up. I don't want to get in any kind of trouble with PSIs. Holy shit. Hey, this is going to be a seamless transition for a guy who got donuts over at Wawa for the coordinator. Wow, man, that's quality. And you turn that guy over to Jalen. Jalen probably looked at him and went, who's this guy? Oh, it's Kevin Patullo. Oh, really? Okay. Hey, I'm going to bring Xander in here now, but isn't it funny? Hey, Bob, I know you're watching because Frank Reich told me. So I want to say this to you here. Landon Dickerson after the game goes like this: we weren't prepared for the 5-man front. You know what he said on WIP? Well, I want to clarify what I said. I'm like, holy shit, man. Hair Bob got a hold of him and made sure. You want to look that back? I don't want anything, It's so predictable now. I mean, it's so M. Reyes. I believe him. Of course you do, kid. You got a pacifier. You sit at home going, Jalen Herz. Jalen Herz. All right. Without further ado. By the way, Howard Eskin is also at 4:30. Remember what Howard said this? The best quarterback on the team is not the starter. I wonder if he still holds to that. With all that being said, the man that has to fight through the jelly donuts all morning, my man, Big Z, Xander Kraus joins us now. How you doing, bro?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm doing. This is
I
a
see
Grand
that.
Slam week, bro.
What's that?
It's a Grand Slam week.
Well, we got a big game on. This team's got a big game on Friday. They better bounce back quick because they got thrown around like a bunch of rag dolls versus the Dallas Cowboys. The interior of that defensive line, and by the way, this goes for both sides. I rewatched. I never seen Jalen Carter get thrown around so easily. You remember when Tyler Booker on draft night was like, I like to strike fear in people. And then Jalen Carter kind of responded to it and was like, yeah, I get a kick out of somebody who says that to me. Well, Tyler Booker beat the shit out of Jalen Carter the other
He
night.
did.
He beat the crap out of him. I know people might not want to hear about that, but that's what happened.
And let's go on the other side, too. Q Williams, you want to know what a 30-some-odd million DT looks like? That's it.
Yeah, he's good,
Hey,
man.
Are you paying Carter? Are you paying Carter $32 million?
Do you remember when they made that trade and the Eagles were, I don't know, 7-2 at the time or 8-2? And I said that's a good trade.
You bet.
And everybody's like, they're the Cowboys. That's a stupid trade. They traded for a prime Jalen Carter. That's what they did.
Yeah.
You hope Jalen Carter turns into a player like Quinnen Williams.
Absolutely.
They traded for a prime Jalen Carter. And they got him for a good deal. It was a great trade by the Cowboys, and that interior is good. But I'm more focused on Friday now.
Well, let me ask you one thing about Jerry, though. So let me ask you this. So you get a first-round pick next April. You've added Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams, and you had Pickens in the 2025 season. How do you think Jerry did?
Yeah, I mean, I think he did. I think he did good. I mean, those are probably the two best trades of the year. You probably put Micah in there for Green Bay because, you do acquire a great player, but Green Bay was ready for Micah more than Dallas was.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, you got to have great tackles before you have great edge rushers. Interior pressure is more important than edge pressure if you can only have one or the other. Because you collapse pockets from the interior. You do not collapse pockets from the edge.
And control the run game.
And Dallas, look, they did get rid of a good player. I'm not trying to act like they didn't get rid of a good player, but they got back assets.
Dallas added more quality players.
Yeah, I mean, and now I'm going to say this. How good is that interior D lineman? I mean, are they the best tandem in the league, the best trio?
NFC East, they are.
Osa, Quinnen Williams, and
Clark and
Clark.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good freaking interior defensive line, dude. When you have that, your entire look, you saw two better outputs from the Dallas defense, no? Yeah. Now, I know you played the Raiders in the first one, and we have a shitty offense, but I'm just saying I'm not going to sleep yet on the Cowboys. I think they could win. Now they got 6 games left.
KC on Thursday too.
That's a tough one. But if they win 4 of them and they go 4-2, they'll end up what? 9-6-1? 9-7-1?
Okay, how about this?
Good enough.
If you lose the game on Friday and the Cowboys beat the Chiefs, they now go if
that happens, we're in a whole new combo, my friend.
Then they go 6-5-1.
8-4, and they'd be 6-5, right?
6-5-1.
6-5-1.
All of a sudden, that thing looks a little different, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It looks a lot different.
You think the problems of the Eagles can be fixed? Is it too late to fix the problems on the Eagles?
Well, it depends who you ask. I don't think Nick Sirianni thinks there's a problem.
He doesn't.
No.
Now, wait a minute. Is that for the public? Or do you think behind the scenes?
I don't think he thinks there's a problem, period. Do they want the offense to work better? Yes. But when there's a lot of criticism of the offense about the philosophy. They're not changing that. And by the way, I got even worse news for everybody. I don't think Nick thinks the Cowboy loss was a problem. You know how Nick looks at that game? Well, we had the rare game where we turned the ball over twice and we lost the football game. My 40-2 record when I win the turnover batter still remains, and I'm still going to double down on that philosophy. So if anybody thinks he's going to come out of the Cowboy game and be like, let's switch it up, no, he's looking at that as we had an outlier game where we fumbled the ball twice. If we assume we're not going to have that anymore like we did the first 8 weeks, we're going to go back to winning. That's how Nick views it. I don't think Nick thinks there's a problem, which is why he said yesterday what he said about Kevin Petula.
They're not going to make any changes.
No, there's no changes, and I don't even think they're trying to fix anything. They want them to just – the offense, all they want from the offense is they just want them to take advantage of when the opportunities come, which are rare.
This is when I'm going to agree with him.
I think you're right, Reyes.
But you have to maintain the course because changing now, November 25th.
That's what I mean. Nick's looking at that game. 2 fumbles and 14 penalties. If we clean that up, we win the game. He's not looking at a change in philosophy. They're not doing that.
No way. No way. So do you think the offensive line, how big of a problem do you think it is, the offensive line right now? Is that the biggest problem on the team, or is it Barkley that's the biggest problem on the team? Pick one.
Pick one offensive line.
Pick one. It's the O-line more than Barkley. I think Barkley, there's something mentally there.
I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with Barkley. You said pick one. If I had to pick one, offensive line. You can't win in the NFL without good offensive line play. It's just that's universal.
That's not happening.
You need good offensive line play. And the Eagles right now aren't getting great offensive line play. Now, honestly, I don't think they're bad in pass blocking. I really don't. Quinnen got a lot of pressure this week. Cam Jurgens got literally destroyed in that football game. Fred Johnson got beat up pretty bad. But overall, I don't think the Eagles' offensive line has been bad at pass blocking. It's the run blocking where they're getting moved off the ball and not creating as many holes as they were last year.
You don't think they've been bad in pass blocking yet? They're 25th in passing.
Because they can't pass the ball well. That's not on the offensive line.
The
offensive line was historic last year. They still suck at passing.
Okay, so like you were over there now, number one.
What do you mean, over where?
Over there at number one. You're not talking about pass protection because the guy holds the ball too long and, he overthrows shit.
He's not a volume passer. He's never going to be.
Okay. All right, so it's not the old line in the passing game. It's one.
Yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah, I think it's Jalen. I think it's Jalen. I think it's the concept. I think it's the philosophy. I mean, when you have the philosophy that they have, that means they're not going to try and stress the defense with tough throws and consistent throws. So it's kind of it's everybody in a way. It's not to point out Jalen, but offensive line is not the problem with the pass game. There's no way.
By the way, don't forget today is Tuesday. I know you got a lot on your plate. Top 10 teams. Top 10 quarterbacks.
Oh, shit. You didn't tell me. I didn't hear you. Did you do
it? Tuesday here, all right?
Dude, some weeks it's Wednesday, some weeks it's Tuesday. You go back and forth on me every week.
Well, because the fucking team plays on a Monday or they play on a what have you.
They're playing on a Friday this week.
All right. I'm going to show you this one here. Here's who your football team is. Tell me where you think this is. Where are these guys? Okay, here it is. Eagles by trends. So your offense, let's do the defense. Defense is 20th. Pass defense is 22nd. Run defense is 18th. Scoring is 8th. Great. Red zone is great. 3rd. 3 and outs, you're 24th. Here's your offense. These are insane with the amount of money you spend. You're 25th in total offense. You're 24th in passing offense. You're 21st in rushing offense. You're 18th in scoring. You're 1st in red zone. You're 28th in 3rd down.
Yeah, if you told me, if you gave me
that sounds like the fucking Titans.
If you gave me those numbers and I didn't know what the record of the team was, I would have said they were 4-7.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is. Look, right now we're not that good of a football team. We have a great ability to win games, and we protect the football well. They've found some magic. I think it was the way you worded it a little bit with a little bit ago, and you were like, they found magic and not turning the ball over. That's what their method is. They're not going to be pretty statistically. They're not going to be. They're not going to, score a lot of points. They're not going to have a high-flying passing offense. They're not going to – A.J. Brown's never going to be a happy man here in Philadelphia again. It is what it is. You know, they're not trying. This is who they're trying to be, Sills. Right? This is who they're trying to be. You know, and I brought up the problems I have, and you know, it makes it severely more complicated to win this way when you don't have the run game. You know, when you're playing risk averse and you got a run game, it helps you out a lot. They don't have that. Now they've still been able to win without it, but that margin is so small, which is why you see a game like you did on Sunday versus the Cowboys, where they're up by 21 and they go on a 41-minute bender of nothing. I mean, anybody that is just acting like that is not horrendous is beside themselves.
Tell me this: if you think you could put a game plan together, you're not Vic Fangio, you're Xander Krause. I want to point one number out to you here. So I went back and looked because I heard your guy. Who's that guy that was on today? That young kid,
John Stolness.
Okay,
I like him.
So he was talking about. He sounded good. He was on, and he was talking about, you know, that they need to open it up. Okay, and I went back and looked at how they approach this year. So how many games have we now? 8, what is it, 8, 9, 11 games.
11 games.
Okay. So they got 10 completions to Dotson, 4 to John Mechie, 2 to Darius Cooper. They got 16 catches for 214 yards through 11 games at the number 3 position. Open what up?
Yeah, I am. You know, John was. Hey, listen, everybody's entitled to their opinion. He even dropped maybe a 4 wide receiver set. My head almost exploded. But yeah, no, they don't do that. They don't do that. They don't do that.
I mean, look, I thought that Barkley pass was there all game. They should have stuck with that thing a lot more.
They used that a little bit. How many yards did Barkley have in the air?
I think Barkley. What do you have? Like 48 yards receiving
40?
in that game, something like that.
A couple dump offs, you know.
Yeah, but him in open space. He also
fumbled on the dump off.
Yeah.
Which AJ was open in the flat on and probably could have went to AJ there. But
16. And by the way, like I said yesterday, first quarter, 6 targets. Rest of the game,
21-0.
You
rest of the game, not shit.
He had 3 targets the rest of the game. Boy, I mean, hey, by the way, I want to go back and ask you one more time. How good do you think your defense did play in that game against the Cowboys? I went back and watched 22.
Yeah, I went back and watched on my rewatch. That's the one thing I noticed. Because remember, they had Dallas drove all the way down the field in the first half. Dak had the interception in the end zone. They also drove down again and had Kevontae Turpin fumbled. All right, so that was 2 moments that the defense got gashed that completely changed the outcome of the game. And there was another trip to the red zone where CeeDee Lamb dropped the ball. You know,
that's right.
Now, so there was a lot of opportunities for them to score. That's why you can't play the woulda, coulda, shoulda game. Like I've seen a lot of people. Well, if we didn't have the flags or the penalties, we would have won. And if CeeDee Lamb didn't have Butterfingers, they would have blew us out. You know, it goes both ways. So you know, you take what you got. What we know is that they lost the game. They collapsed in epic fashion, and they better clean it up. Undisciplined, unfocused football team. You know what else it's a sign of? It's a sign of the macro, something we have been talking about all year long. This philosophy, you will lose players. Devontae Smith had a penalty. A.J. Brown had a penalty. Both receivers had a penalty in that football game. You had a bunch of penalties. You had 2 penalties on Fred Johnson. You had a penalty on Mailata. You had a penalty on Steen. You had a penalty on who else? Matt Pryor, who came into the game, which is more of a receiver penalty because he did signal to the ref that he was eligible. But yeah, I mean it's an undisciplined, unfocused football team. They better get it on the tracks.
Well, let me. You know, I hear everyone, and I heard John say that the Bears have no chance on Friday. Here's my takeaway, and you tell me who this team reminds you of. So offensively, the Bears are 6th in total offense right now coming into this game. The Bears in the passing game are 10th. The Bears in the run game are 2nd. The Bears in scoring heading into this game, the Bears are 7th. The Bears coming into this game in red zone, they are 15th. They're in the middle of the league. 3rd down, the Bears stay on the field. They're 8th. And completions on 3rd downs heading into this ball game. Boy, if that doesn't sound like the Dallas
I think
Cowboys.
they lead the league in comeback wins, don't they? They have like
Yeah.
5 of them.
How
5 or
about
6.
this, Ander? Sure sounds like the Dallas Cowboy team. Not very good rankings on defense. High volume on offense. Isn't that the same team you just
Bad rankings on
How about
defense.
this?
They
Isn't
don't
that the
really mean
same?
much.
Now look, Caleb Williams is not Dak, but I mean, isn't that the same kind of team that the Cowboys were? High volume offense, not the greatest defense, get a couple stops, and they win ball games.
Yeah, whenever we play a team that has a bad defense, you can basically make sure you just know it's going to have very little impact on the game.
That's right, because that nullifies your bad offense.
We don't have a good offense, and we went up against the Vikings when they had a good defense, and we all of a sudden.
This is going to come down to the Bears. This is going to come down to the Bears offense and your defense.
I think it comes down to Caleb Williams.
It did Sunday.
I think it comes down to Caleb Williams.
Okay.
I mean, Dak Prescott showed you how to beat the Eagles' offense, but Dak Prescott's on time, on target, and accurate with the football. Caleb is not.
Agreed. He's not.
He's not as much of a timing guy. He's not an on-schedule guy, So, he does a little bit
better off schedule and better in open space.
He's gotten better at it this year, being on schedule with Caleb Williams or with Ben Johnson. But he's more of an off-schedule guy. So, how much are they able to take advantage of that? Well, I think be the biggest question in the game. Look, and the other thing here is they got a lot of playmakers, man, for a defense that's banged up. Now, it looks like Reed Blankenship is going to play. Vic kind of said that today. By the way, John got in a spat with somebody at the
Good.
Reuben Frank said something to John or something. John goes, "Shut up, Rube."
I guess John. Somebody said John's wearing off on John there a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
One guy messaged me, "I'll take Reuben Frank in a 3-round match." I'm like, nah. Johnny Mack.
I'll take John in that one.
Yeah. Reuben
Frank reminds me of a hot dog.
Yeah. I'll take J Mac there. But it was funny. But no, it's gonna be a good one, dude. I mean, I don't think it's as easy as a lot of fans are making. Like even John's talking crazy. I'm like, wait a second, man. You got no Lane Johnson. Cam Jurgens just logged his worst game of his. Maybe it was the worst game of his season. I'd have to look if it was the worst game of his career, but it was that bad. Especially graded out was that bad. Tyler Steen doesn't move bodies in the run game. Landon Dickerson's a shell of himself. Jordan Mailata's probably come down 15, 20% in terms of how good he was. Now, he was excellent. He was insane last year, so it's tough, but he's worse. So you don't have a great offensive line. Like, what makes you think that you're going to – if you can't run the ball and you don't have a good offensive line, you don't have a good offense, we're going into this game. It's defense will bail us out or they won't.
And guess what's in this game on Friday? Gardner Johnson.
Dude, they got Gardner Johnson, they got Kevin Byard, and they got DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, but Gardner Johnson's going to talk trash. And he is going to be a menacing thing back there. And I got to tell you, when you are shit on like that, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to seeing. Oh, by the way, dude, I went back and watched that. George Pickens destroyed Cooper DeJean. He fucking crushed him in that game on Sunday.
On second watch, Cooper was actually a little better than I thought.
Yeah, well, no.
No, it was close. It was 2 plays.
He had 9 targets, 9 catches.
Yeah, but Cooper was only on him twice.
I must think.
Cooper only gave up 2 catches.
Who was on him?
He had Adoree on him at times. He had Quinion on him for a couple catches. He had like everybody. They didn't travel anybody, so they lined him up all over the place. It wasn't all Coop. I rewatched the game. Look,
you think the secondary played well?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Cooper specifically. On the
I have to go back. I think I must.
Because still, hear me out. Like you saw the flag, and I'm not even here to complain about the flag, but like, isn't that just good offense, dude? Like Cooper was right there. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a great receiver. Sometimes you got to tip your hat, man.
Oh, absolutely.
We're
good too.
Cooper was right there on George Pickens. Pickens made a crazy good play. Even used his hands in the face a little bit.
Okay.
Cooper was fine on that. And then the other play got beat a little bit, but at the end of the day, I thought Cooper was okay.
Do you think that Jalen Herz is a casual leader?
You talking about what Hugh said yesterday?
Yeah. And by the way, he's taking shit for saying this. Can you imagine this offense with Dak Prescott?
Oh, this fan base is so buttercups. I love the way Hugh does it. He's like, He's like, I forget what he said today, responding to everybody. I forgive you or something. He said.
He did. He goes, listen, I forgive all you.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
No, I don't think that about Hertz. I don't. I mean, I think I can see where he's coming from with it because, the team goes on a parade float, much because of Saquon Barkley and the defense last year. And Jalen's obviously out in front of everything. And, now the offense can barely put one foot in front of the other. And Hertz just doesn't say a whole lot. Now, if you listen to him, Jalen does say, I got to be better, starts with me, all those things. But that's lip service. I don't listen to what they say, good, bad, or indifferent. I more watch what they do, and I don't see Jalen trying to really advance and improve this offense.
I think maybe where Hugh's coming from, it's more old school with he and I. I don't want AJ to be the voice of the huddle. I want the quarterback to be the voice of the huddle. Why is it always AJ? And by the way, you see McNabb today too? I think it's time to get rid of fucking AJ.
Oh, yeah, that's coming. Yeah.
So here, look at this, man. They're already starting to put this guy up in effigy here, man, where they're starting to get rid of this guy, man. I mean, dude, they're turning on A.J. Brown right in front of your eyes. And it's a daily thing.
Yeah. They're going to scapegoat him. If Luri decides that he's done with Patullo, they'll scapegoat him. I don't think Nick is going to scapegoat Patullo. I think that would be Luri or Howie.
I don't think that's Nick's call.
I agree. But I'm saying if it is Nick's call, he'll stay. But the owner might come in and say this is unacceptable, So the owner is a total wild card in this, and nobody really knows where the owner stands. A lot of people think the owner loves Jalen Hurts, but a lot of people also go off what the owner's been for 20 years, and he's always wanted to be on the cutting edge of the NFL in the passing game with offense. He invests a bunch in the offense. You can see the way the salary cap is lined up, how much he pays on the offense. This offense is objectively horrible. Does the owner really believe that's all Kevin Patullo, or does he believe there's other people, at fault for that? That's the $1 million question on this football team, because the other thing Hugh brought up, which people, erupted at, or no, it wasn't Hugh, excuse me. Shady brought this up where they doesn't think they're going to extend Jalen Hurts. And people erupted on it. And I'm like, Sileo has been telling you guys this for 5 years. This organization puts more credit on themselves than they do any player or any coach. That's just the reality. They went to the Super Bowl with Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz and Nick Foles. They swapped them out, got a new coach, a new quarterback, and they went to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Are you under the impression that this team doesn't believe they could swap out Nick and Jalen and build another team and get back to the Super Bowl? Let's play a scenario. Let's say they did fire Nick. Let's say they did move on from Jalen. If they put, just for the sake of the conversation, let's just say Tanner McKee was the quarterback because he's simple and easy and backup and cheap, and you brought in a play caller like Kellen Moore. You think how many games do you think this team would win? With A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, everybody on the team.
Me personally, how do I think they'd win? 12 games.
Me too. So they're of the belief that nobody's above the team. Nobody's above the – and look, their success would say they're right. It's not
I think your margins would increase where you'd have more ability. And I think, get this, you're trying to tell me, Xander, if you didn't have a passing game that was at least in the middle of the league, that wouldn't help the run game out?
I think it would. But, how are you going to get the pass game there when they don't have any complex concepts? They don't want to throw the ball over the middle of the field that much. They don't put the ball in the –
because they don't trust the quarterback.
Yeah, I know they don't. And I think that's unfair. I mean, I think you're right. But remember, I watched Jalen at 23. I mean, he had turned the ball over a lot, but he could throw the ball, So is there a form you can find 23 Hertz with a little less turnovers? That's my ideal.
Let me ask you this, though. Do you agree with me after – and by the way, I'll tell you, I'm going to tell everybody in here about this kid. You do so much studying. You do so much understanding of the game. It's mind-numbing how far you've come from 2 years ago to right. No, I'm giving you – people don't do that. So you see this. So my point would be this then. Okay. If they're not going to put a game plan together in a passing game, don't you understand, Xander? They have pigeonholed this kid on here is who you are. You now know the NFL does this. You're a backup. Fred, you're a backup. You're a part-time player. They departmentalize players all the time in this league. You can't run a crossing route. You can't and not very good at playing on time, because all of the evaluation of all the players in the front office, they label players. They've labeled Jalen Hurts. This player, he cannot win games consistently by the passing game. He needs to have a great team around him. And when you get a lead, you need to protect the league, because if you go out with high volume, he's going to be like 23 and 24. They saw, what was it? 26 games, 25 games of Hertz throwing the ball. That's all they needed to see. Because if you remember right in that time period, he had 23 interceptions in like 26 games. They said this is who this kid is. And they built a game plan around that kid and what that guy, they've labeled him. So until Nick Sirianni's no longer the coach, Jalen Hurts will wear that jacket as long as Nick is in that building, because you know why? That's what Nick believes what that kid is. Am I wrong?
I agree. They're not going to change. I was talking with Prince in the Discord today about this, where he's just like, I don't get it. Why don't we just hire a coach that plays the Jalen strengths? I'm like, Prince, I hear you. I agree with you. I'd like to bring back Shane Steichen part 2. They're not going to do it. This is what they've established, that taking the ball out of Jalen's hands and playing risk-averse with this quarterback is the best method to win. And if you look at the win-loss, it actually makes some sense why Nick is doing it. The success speaks for itself. They're 40-2 and they win the turnover differential. He's not going to go away from that, So I get why they're doing it. I don't like it. I think the offense sucks, but I get why they're doing it. And you're right. They're not going to change out of that. There's no way.
They got him in a formaldehyde jar.
The other thing too is, let me ask you this. Here's a scenario. We got a couple Cowboy fans in the chat. So George Pickens got traded to the Cowboys this summer. Let's just take the teams out of it for a second. Let's just say, instead of George Pickens going to the Cowboys this summer, A.J. Brown was the guy that went to the Cowboys. I know it never happened. It's an in-division trade. It would never happen. It's just a thought exercise. What would A.J. Brown do with Dak Prescott in that offense? Because George Pickens is on pace to be a top 3 receiver in pro football. What would A.J. Brown do there?
1,600 yards.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be maybe 18.
And guess what else he's noted for? That run game would be number 1 in the league. You don't think there's any coincidence he blocked for fucking Derrick Henry and Barkley's historic run? He would add, again, he's a better player than CD. He's a better player than CD Lamb.
I agree. I think Smitty's a better player than CD too now.
His fucking hands are insane, A.J. Brown's.
Yeah. Well, that's my point.
You know what Michael Irvin said to me last night? You know what he thought was the biggest slap in the face by Eagle fans and by anybody in the media?
What?
He goes, let's just say A.J. has lost a step. He ain't lost them hands. Them hands are going to carry him another 5 years in this league to all Pro and Pro Bowl teams, because you know what? That guy knows how to get open, and when he is one-on-one, how many times have you ever seen A.J. Brown beat on one-on-one? It's like never.
It's never. That's why That's why I hate this narrative that AJ's taking a step back. I'm like, dude, every receiver is going to take a step back in this offense.
And low volume, he's going to take
low volume. They don't push the ball. They don't use the whole field. Come on, guys. I mean, this isn't hard to figure out. Receivers are not going to come in this offense since week 4 of last year. Receivers are not going to thrive in this offense. They're not. So I think it's dumb to sit here and think that A.J. Brown lost a step. That's crazy talk. Now, Saquon, maybe he lost a step.
I think you are the perfect person to ask this question about Jalen Hurts. Has the narrative ever changed from that Saturday afternoon when Nick yanked him out and they put Tagovailoa in? Has it ever changed? The number one problem I thought from 35,000 feet watching Hertz is that Nick didn't like the ups and downs and the non-consistency. One week he's here.
Alabama?
Since Alabama to right now, he has been inconsistent.
He's gotten a lot better.
Okay. He's gotten better, but that narrative has not. I'm talking about the narrative. It hasn't.
You're talking about the macro. I see what you're saying.
It just hasn't changed.
Yeah,
has he gotten better? Yes. Is he a better leader? Yes. Does he have an innate ability to win? Yes.
Well, all you got to do is go back and look at why did they pull him in that game? They couldn't move the ball through the air. The Georgia defensive front was crazy. The Alabama couldn't run, and Georgia had put up, I think, 17 first-half points in that game. And Alabama had 25 total yards of offense at the half. Jalen couldn't move the ball through the air effectively, and they needed to do it. That's why they put him on the bench, and Saban explains that very well when they did it. Now, I don't think Jalen's the same player, but at the end of the day, you know how it is, man. When there's a scouting report on a player, they get better at things. For the most part, I mean, that's who they are, it is. And, I think the same things are plaguing this offense, and they're plaguing it less because they're asking him to do it less. Now the other problems are that they're so conservative. But they probably view that as a better problem to have than Jalen needing to be a high-volume passer to win games. They're not going to put him in that environment.
I'm going to ask you a simple question, and I've asked you this a bunch of times, but now that the run game is exposed, some of the things we said from a year ago, John mentioned it too. By the way, Jake Tapper, I was a year off on Barkley. This run game, I just don't see it improving. I think it's walked backwards. And I'm going to ask you one more time about Jalen. How well do you think he's playing this year?
Jalen Hurts? Well, I guess he's playing okay for within what they're asking him to do. But if you're looking at quarterbacks across the league, I mean, it's very underwhelming. I mean, when you're the quarterback of a team that's – where are they ranked in offense, you told me?
They are 25th ranked total.
Yeah, I mean, they're bottom of the league. Did you hear John Stolnis' stat this morning? Their offensive success rate per play? The only 5 teams worse than them are the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, and I forget the two other. They're all bad. They're all brutal. And he's like, you don't want to be listed with those teams. I don't give a shit what your philosophy is. That's terrible. And that's what they are. So I don't know of another team where your offense can struggle that much.
You know what the difference is with those teams and the Eagles?
Yeah, Saints and the Raiders. Thank you, Curtis. That was the other.
You know what the difference is? You're spending $200 million on that thing.
That's my point. I agree. I mean, that's where it's egregious, And look, this is what it is, and it's not good. I don't know of another team though where you can have that type of offensive numbers and you just like I don't get some Eagle fans. They're just like, you can't look at the quarterback at all. I'm like, find me another offense in pro football where you just take the quarterback out of the conversation when they stink.
You can't.
You don't do that. Dak Prescott's got the number 1 offense in the league, and people still give him shit if he throws 1 pick. I mean, come on, man. Let's be real here. Let's talk about football. The quarterback is a part of the offense that's largely inept. So I don't think he's done that well. No, I don't think he's had a great year. I don't think he's, lifted them up in areas that I wish he would be lifting them up. And I think without the running game, he's been more exposed this year.
Man, I think you're in for a game on Friday. I think you win.
Look at this.
I'll say it now.
Do you think Jalen Hurts is better than Dak Prescott?
No way. I think Jalen doesn't have to do a lot to win. Prescott has to do a lot more to win. And I think,
frankly, I don't really think it's close. When you're talking about, look, there's different conversations here.
Skill, leadership,
football players
is better.
There's football players, and then there's quarterbacking. Dak Prescott clears quarterbacking Jalen Hurts in every level, at every phase of the game. He gets the ball out. He gets his receivers involved. He reads defenses quick. He goes through his progressions. He's accurate. He's on time. He's got a big arm. I mean, come on, guys. Jalen's a good player. Jalen has winning tendencies. He's got great intangibles, a great work ethic, a great leader in many areas, a lot of different things. But to sit here and say that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott is simply ridiculous. Insane. And then you'll go to Dak has no playoff success.
Bro, I know.
Game, man. Wins are not a quarterback stat for this reason.
Dan Marino 7-9 in the postseason.
Yeah, that's right. Next they'll be saying Jalen Hurts is better than Dan Marino.
Right. I'm like, Dan Marino is 7-9 in playoffs.
You got to get me off this Jalen. Man, can we talk about something else? You get me in trouble with all these Jalenites, man.
Yeah. We're going to go to the top 10 teams now in the top 10. And top 10. And I know I caught you off guard here, so you're going to be doing it. You're going to be doing it.
Oh,
off the
shoot.
top
We're
of your
doing the
head.
quarterbacks. All right, I got my list from last week here, so I'll modify my list. Okay.
Okay, hang on here now. Okay, here we go. So let's do the top 10 teams first.
All right. You want to do teams first?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I've got at number 10, I've got the Buffalo Bills. At number 9, I've got the Green Bay Packers.
All right.
At number 8, I've got the Chicago Bears.
Bears making an appearance. Let's go, Bears.
At number 7, I have the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
At number 6, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. At number 5, I have the Patriots. At number 4, I have the Colts. At number 3, I have the Seahawks. At number 2, I have the Broncos. At number 1, I have the Rams.
I like it. I like it.
That's my list.
You had the Seahawks at 3?
3. Rams, 1. Broncos, 2. Seahawks, 3. Colts, 4. Patriots, 5.
Okay.
Eagles, 6. Lions, 7. Bears, 8. Packers, 9. Bills, 10.
All right. I got mine.
Okay.
49ers weren't on your list, right?
Nope.
They're right outside, I imagine.
Yep, right outside.
All right. I got the honorable mentions I have this week are 49ers, Bucks cross them off the list. Bears move into the top 10, and Chiefs fall right out of the top 10 for me.
That's right. They're there too.
Yeah, so Chiefs are on honorable mention. I'm going to go 10, I'll go Packers. 9, I'm going to go Bills. 8, I got Lions. 7, I have Bears. They're top of the division right now. I got to go with them.
Yep.
They won, 4 straight, 5 comeback wins,
yep.
8-3. 6, I have the Eagles. And honestly, I've debated putting them lower. 5, I have the Colts. 4, I have the Seahawks. 3, I have the Patriots.
Okay.
Broncos, I have number 2. And Rams, number 1. So Rams, Broncos, Patriots, Seahawks, Colts, Eagles, Bears, Lions, Bills, Packers. Honorable mentions, Chiefs, 49ers.
Would you agree the most disappointing team so far this year in the NFL has been the Bills?
No, because they don't have a good roster, and I knew that. It's Superman or bust for them. We all know that. Josh Allen plays like Superman, or he has an interception at the end of the game trying to be Superman, and they lose.
Okay, I think this is a fair question. You think the Eagles have been disappointing this year at 8-3? Right, I don't.
No, I don't. I mean, I think they.
With all the turnovers,
here's what's disappointing about
with all the turnovers they had. How could you not?
What's disappointing about the Eagles. What's disappointing about the Eagles is the amount of talent that they have and the output that they put. The sum of the parts is nowhere close to what many fans, logical fans, think it would be, think it should be, think it could be. Now they win games. They found something with the turnover thing, and they're 8-3 because of that. But their offense is nowhere near prolific. In fact, it's below average. Their defense, while getting better, remains an average defense. Now, I think they're going to get better. I think by the end of the year, they'll be closer to the top. But right now, they're average to above average in defense. Their special teams below average or average. Jake Elliott's missed 3 field goals in the last 5 weeks. I think nobody feels uber confident in any of the coaches that we have outside of Vic Fangio and the defensive coaches. So if you don't have a lot of confidence in your offense, if you're relying on your defense to get, way better by the end of the year, which, while I think they will, is still a hopeful thing. It's a hope thing. Your special teams is inconsistent. I mean, I don't know. You tell me.
No, I agree.
You know,
I absolutely.
that's kind of how I view that.
You could also make the argument. I wonder if people think that the Chiefs are a disappointment this year too. So I mean, but again, I wish I would have held to my guns.
Roster.
I wish I would have held to my guns because I said I didn't think the Chiefs would make the playoffs.
I know. That's right. I'll give you credit for it.
I wanted to, but then I went, it's 15.
All right, are we doing quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks now.
All right.
Here are my top 10 quarterbacks. What are we heading into? Week 13? Here we go.
Week 13.
Hey, real quick before we do the quarterbacks. Has Nolan Smith fallen off the planet?
Nolan Smith? Yeah, right now he's on the milk carton.
Okay. Number 10. This is I found so much unpleasure putting this guy's name here. I got Caleb Williams at 10.
Yeah, he's in my top 10.
I got him at 10. I got Golf at 9. I got Daniel Jones at 8. I got Justin Herbert at 7. I got Josh Allen at 11. Or 6, excuse me. I got Darnold at 5. Dak Prescott at 4. Patrick Mahomes at 3. Drake May at 2. Matthew Stafford 1. No Jalen Hurts.
I think I feel good about my list. I'm doing it on the top of my head here, but.
Gotcha.
All right, honorable mentions for me this week. All right, outside of my top 10 are Hertz, Jordan Love. I think I got this right. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Number 10, Jared Goff.
Okay.
Number 9, Justin Herbert. Number 8, Caleb Williams. Number 7, Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Number 6, Daniel Jones. Number 5. Wait a second, I fucked up. I got to drop Goff to an honorable mention. I didn't put Mahomes in mine.
Okay.
All right, I'll go Herbert 10, Caleb 9, Bo Nix 8, Danny Dimes 7, Pat Mahomes 6, Sam Darnold 5, Dak Prescott 4, Josh Allen 3, Drake May 2, and Matthew Stafford 1.
Read them back.
So I got Stafford 1, Drake May 2, Josh Allen 3, Dak Prescott 4, Sam Darnold 5, Patrick Mahomes 6, Daniel Jones 7, Bo Nix 8, Caleb Williams 9, and Justin Herbert 10. Honorable mention, Hertz and Love.
Okay. I like it. I couldn't believe I put Caleb Williams in the top 10. I'm like,
well, they're winning games. He's making what they're. I don't think he's that good either, Fly. I don't think he's I really don't. I don't think he should be in the top 10.
Well, if Jalen Hurts gets credit for
this is a this year list. This is not an overall list. This is not a macro talent list. This isn't right now in 2025. Where are the quarterbacks? Right. I think Caleb deserves to be on that list. They're 8-3. They completely turned that franchise around. He's getting his playmakers the ball. They're making plays. He's got talent around him. They've won 8 games, and they're at the top of the NFC North, man. It's a tough division. So I think Caleb deserves credit.
I completely do too, man. All right, we're going to do some supers here in a second. You know who I voted for the Maxwell Award for the College Football Coach of the Year? Who do you think I picked?
Who?
Who would you pick?
For the College Football Player of the Year?
Coach of the Year.
Oh, Coach of the Year. Probably Cignetti.
I did.
Yeah, probably Cignetti.
I picked him.
I would say I'd say Ryan Day, but I don't really think they've had that all
No.
impressive of a schedule.
I put Lane second.
You can maybe make an argument Lane should be a 1.
No shit. I debated that. I did because Lane. Look what Lane's done to Ole Miss.
Lane should probably be 1, Sills.
Dude, Lane in the SEC's made it a playoff team.
Dude, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
What's their ranking right now? Ole Miss 5, 6?
I think they're 5 or 6. Right. They're in the playoff.
You could probably make an argument for the A&M guy, for A&M coach.
Yeah, the A&M guy too. I had him in my top.
He'd probably be up there. Signetti. Kirby Smart, you can never go wrong with Kirby. I mean, the guy just continues to deliver. I mean, he just continues. The Texas Tech coach would be an interesting one.
Yep.
But I think you're right. Signetti and Lane are, to me, are the 2 coaches of the year, probably.
Those are the 2 best guys. I'll tell you what, too, man. I think Ken DeBoer, even though he's got 2 losses and 1 loss was a horrific loss to Florida State, if you look at who they've played this year, they've beaten a lot of good football teams, dude. I mean, dude, the SEC is so fucking brutal this year. I mean, it's good. Kentucky's good. Yeah. Dude, look at this. If Kentucky was in the Big 12, they'd be a 10-win team.
They're not ranked, though, are they, Kentucky?
No. If they were in the ACC, they'd win 10 games.
My bold prediction for the college football season next year is that Virginia Tech will make the
ascend?
Top 12. That's how much of a turnaround I think James Franklin's going to be for them. We never talked about that. I love that hire. That is a perfect hire for that team.
You know why? Because if he wins 9, 10, 11 games there, they're going to build a statue to him.
Well, that's a big part of it. But for Penn State has different expectations now. Nick Saban talked about this when he interviewed Franklin. You've created an expectation at Penn State that ultimately got you fired because the expectation became we're done with being top 5, top 10. We need to win it all. He couldn't win the big game. They fired him. Virginia Tech has had losing seasons in 6 of the last 8 years. They were once a great program with Frank Beamer and those who preceded him, and they have completely fallen off the face of the earth. That Fuente guy they hired years ago after Beamer was an absolute trash can. The program's is completely irrelevant. Now you have a coach who's coming in, who knows how to bring players, who knows how to get through to players. You know, the most crazy stat to me of the college football cycle is 3 coaches from big schools got fired this year. Penn State, Florida, and LSU. LSU lost 1 recruit. Florida lost 2 recruits. Penn State lost 17 recruits. That is because of James Franklin. Now, all those players and all those people that were going there for James Franklin are going to look at Virginia Tech. They're going to get behind James Franklin, and that program is going to – and remember, they're playing in the ACC. So they're going to be able to march through the ACC. Horrible conference. I think it's a masterful hire for them. Perfect.
One thing I'll say to you, though, I'll kind of push back on you on this. Franklin, he didn't build any expectations of Penn State. Paterno did.
Yeah, but dude,
they don't want to say the name Paterno. But where do you think those expectations were? 409 wins and 2 national championships and multiple national championship settings.
I'm not trying to discredit Paterno, but remember. When everything went down with Paterno and Sandusky and everything, the program cratered. They had Bill O'Brien in there for a year who helped turn the ship around. He did a hell of a job. Yeah, he did do a hell of a job. But I'm just saying.
I get it.
Bring that program back to relevance. Does anybody – we don't even really talk about all that anymore. You know how hard it is to lift that program? So it was a very different time. I'm not saying you're wrong. Obviously, they had a great standard with Joe Paterno. They won national titles and all those things. But, I think overall – Franklin,
he may go into Penn State where kids were maybe afraid to go to Penn State because of all that Sandusky shit. Right. That's what he changed because
he made it cool again.
He made it cool again to go there. Yep. And by the way, Xander,
all right, let's rattle these supers, bro. You got Howard coming up.
Hey, by the way, to your point, 17 kids bailed now on Penn State.
I'm telling you, man, that guy can he can recruit his ass off, man. He can recruit it. In college, anybody who follows college football knows that
Yeah, absolutely.
Recruiting is more important than the X's and O's.
Absolutely,
Here's
man.
William. Switch it up a little. Some dual halfback sets, spell, split backs. Utilize Barkley and Bigsby in the short intermediate pass game. Got her in the slot. Shit, man. Switch some things up. Let it rip. William, I love it, man.
You play too much Madden, man. That's not what they do. They don't play Madden in Philly. You're talking about playing Madden, Hoss. You got the wrong joystick in your hand.
You're not even just playing Madden. You're talking about an offense that's opened up.
Yeah, you're talking about somebody that's a high
Here's
level.
William. What's up, William? Thanks for the 2 supers, brother.
Thank you, man.
10. Thank you, man. They need to take the training wheels off and let Herz play the damn game. Watch the play clock when Herz is command of the offense. There's feel, rhythm, timing when he can improvise and run his game. Call me what you want. William, I agree with you. But the question is, not the question. The reality is they got handcuffs.
They don't believe that.
Yeah.
They have stereotyped Herz into being what he is.
Yeah.
In their eyes, not what reality is.
Here's JD. Jalen Herz is a top 50 quarterback. Oh, come on, JD.
He's not there, man. That's not right.
For the first time in 28 weeks of football, I have Jalen Herz outside my top 10. Kimberly says Herz is a perfectionist. He gets stage fright. Well, I think they've spooked him with the turnover thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any tight windows, he doesn't let it rip.
Yep.
Here's Joey. What's up, Joey? I think we are what we are at this point. I'm not feeling good about the Bears game. We definitely are what we are.
I don't think that Bears game is going to be that easy of a football game. I don't.
There's no game in Philly that's easy right now.
No.
When you play this way, there's no game that's easy. They create this for themselves. Albino says, "Deja, we got that one." All right, we got all the supers.
So wait, I don't want you to give a prediction right now for the Bears, but I want you feeling good about it?
No. Lane Johnson's hurt. Cam Jurgens looks like a shell of himself. Same with Landon. You're injured in the secondary. I know people don't like Adoree Jackson, but you can only get worse after him. He's going to be out probably with a concussion. Makuba's out. You're going to have, I don't know, Sidney Brown out there for a whole game.
Yeah.
Reed's supposed to play, so that's a good news. But, that Bears team, they got a lot of playmakers. Now, there's no George Pickens or Quinnen Williams, but they got a boatload of playmakers on offense. They got 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. Cole Kmet, they got Colston Loveland, they got the 2 backs, they got 4 or 5 wide receivers that can get the ball. It's going to be interesting. Okay,
so before I bring Howard Eskin on, Angelo was all over Kevin Patullo yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
He's always
now. I'm gonna ask you this. You remember that nugget that Howard gave us about 4 weeks ago? He gave us a nugget when he said the best quarterback is not the starting quarterback.
I think that take will be becoming more popular depending on how the season ends. We'll see. All right, Sills, good show,
man. I appreciate it.
All right, dude, later.
You got it, dude. We'll catch you in the morning. All right. Holy cow, man. By the way, I watched him the other day with Tony Bruno. One of my absolutely dearest friends is Tony Bruno. Tony and I were hired together at Fox Sports Radio. I wonder if he was still doing stuff at IP then. I thought he was doing stuff at ESPN back in the day before he got that job, but obviously he cut his chops over at WIP with all those legendary sports talk guys. And that station is nowhere near what it once was. It is now a mouthpiece of a station, which is sad because I grew up on that thing. Howard Eskin came out with some comments a couple weeks ago, and I really do wonder, some of those things don't look that wild right now. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend. He is our friend. Howard Eskin joins us now here on this Thanksgiving week. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Howard.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. There's a lot of turkeys out there, and I can identify them as Eagles fans.
Oh, my. Howard, I'll tell you one thing, man. I am learning a lot this week on how Hugh Douglas goes out and says, I wonder what this offense would look like with Dak Prescott. And he almost got cannibalized by the Eagle fans. You had another guy, Shady McCoy, say that he doesn't believe the Eagles are going to extend him. And all of a sudden they tried cannibalizing this guy. And I made this comment last couple days ago. You watch, Howard, by the end of the year, if the Eagles don't make the playoffs A.J. Brown will be the next scapegoat for this fan base because they'll blame A.J. Brown for talking and telling the truth about the inabilities of the offense. Do you believe that?
I don't think it makes any difference how far that the Eagles go or don't go in the playoffs. Obviously, they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think A.J. Brown is going to be here next year. It's the last year of real money. They're not going to re-sign him after that age and the issues. And I know he's good, but they'll come up with another good wide receiver. I mean, maybe not quite as good as A.J. Brown, but somebody that can be as good as A.J. Brown. But I don't think he's going to be here anyway, regardless of all that. Scapegoats, there'll be tons of scapegoats. You and the world and these fans, these brilliant geniuses, these rocket scientists that call themselves Eagles fans, it's always Kevin Petullo. When do the players, you too, you're one of those guys, when do the players take accountability? The quarterback gets paid, even Kyler Murray's making $50 million a year. And, obviously they pay guys on projection and not always on performance. They project, but the quarterback gets paid that kind of money because he is the player that's got to make things go. Even quarterbacks that aren't as good make it happen. There's not many quarterbacks that aren't good that make it to the Super Bowl. But the reality is it happens. The quarterback is the guy. There's so many other things besides Kevin Petullo. And I know you pointed out the offensive line isn't as good. The running game, maybe because of that. And Saquon Barkley, it always happens. Not always. I guess 85% of the time it happens when a running back has that many carries, that many plays the previous year, the next year, you say, well, he's got an off season to get healthy. Your body can only take so much. And sometimes it doesn't come back and sometimes it does, but it usually takes a year. So that's not as good. There are only, I'm not going to get too deep into this because, I know I'll catch a lot of crap, but the playbook is not as big as a lot of teams have a playbook.
It's limited.
So when you say there's no creativity by the offensive coordinator, he can only operate within the playbook of plays that you put into these games. And he's trying to do the best he can with what he has. He did for the first 3 series against Dallas. And then all of a sudden, the other team says, well, we know they're doing that. We know they're going to do that with this formation. We know they're going to do that. You got a couple of options, but there's not that much variety after that. This team, when's the last time that the Eagles, I can't even think of it, had a good offensive game from start to finish? And I'm not saying if you have a 20-point lead. Well, okay. Yeah, I'm not saying if you have a 20-point lead, you just run the football. But, yeah, it hasn't been that much. They've not been consistent throughout the game. And it's so easy to blame the coaches. Do the coaches make mistakes? Hey, the best coach, Jimmy Johnson was one of the best, as you well know. He made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I think Belichick's I don't think he's in the top 5. But even he made mistakes, and people recognize him. Bill Walsh, Tom Landry. You go down Chuck Noll, for people that don't even remember Chuck Noll, but you probably remember Chuck Noll. Great quarterback with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They all make mistakes, but the players are the ones that have to make the plays.
Howard, let me do this for you, and let me quantify why Kevin Petullo and why I say this about him. I agree. He's a pawn in this thing. He's the middle guy.
And you know what? Because of all this, he won't be here next year. And it's not his fault.
I completely agree. The reason why the playbook has 3 pages to it is because the quarterback is limited in his skill set in the pocket. And that's how the Eagles call plays. And I'll show you. And if you go just by the Cowboy game here, to your point here, they've got the wrong coordinator for the quarterback. And they have for the last 3 hires going all the way back to Shane. If it's not scripted, Howard, take a look at this. Here's your Cowboy game. It's 15 minutes of football. If you look at it at most, it's 13 minutes. 7 plays, 50 yards, touchdown. 12 plays, 76 yards, touchdown. 6 plays, 66 yards, touchdown. Once they got off script, 3 plays, -2, punt. 3 plays, 3 yards, punt. 6 plays, 18 yards, punt. 3 plays, 7 yards, punt. 7 plays, 30 yards, missed field goal. 6 plays, 33 yards, fumble. 5 plays, 17, they had a punt. That comes out to 4 plays per series with 13.5 yards per series. Add the penalties in, the inconsistencies and the injuries. I mean, where do you think you're going? You played 15 minutes of football, and to sit there and think that they're going to have a quarterback that's going to throw – Dak Prescott threw them out of trouble. Herz couldn't hold the lead because it's the coordinator, it's the quarterback, and it's the approach. It's all of the above, Howard.
Well, there's a reason that the playbook is limited, and you can decide for yourself. And Eagles fans, once Eagles fans lock in to whether it's a coach or whether it's a player, they can't ever adjust. I'll call it an adjustment. Nick Sirianni, the year, was it last year that he started 2-2? Was it last year? Okay.
Yeah.
They and the nitwits on WIP, the dopes that just jabber with all kinds of bullshit. Wanted to fire him. They wanted Belichick. How's that work out for North Carolina? But Belichick's done. He's done in the NFL. There's no way any team had to be delusional and insane to hire Belichick. But the reality is, so they wanted to fire him. So, but they go back to that. They don't, he won a Super Bowl, but it wasn't him. It was the players. But when they lose, it's the coach. You can't have it both ways. And then they lock in to a player. I hear so much nonsense about, well, Jalen Hurts had a perfect quarterback rating. I had Dick Vermeil on, I guess it was a week or 2 ago. I says, Dick, do you know what the quarterback rating is? This is a guy that sits every week, even when he's not coaching now, and just goes over all the numbers, just jots down all the numbers. He watches all the games, and he jots down all the numbers. He says, I don't know what a quarterback rating is. I don't know how they come about that. It's bullshit. It's meaningless. It's about wins and losses. And then these rocket scientist Eagle fans, now it's, well, he should be the favorite, one of the favorites for the MVP. They lock into that. I don't care about MVPs. I care about winning games. Some dopey reporter, and there's a lot of dopey reporters out there, actually asked Tyrese Maxey from the 76ers, because he's scoring a lot of points. The Sixers suck, by the way. Scores a lot of points. Is one of your goals an MVP? What an asinine, stupid question. And he said, no, I want to win. I mean, awards are meaningless unless you win. You think Matthew Stafford, who obviously is the best quarterback in the league right now, you think he cares about the MVP?
What's another ring?
Yeah, that's right. He wants a Super Bowl. I mean, it's nonsense. They worry about the wrong things. But my point is, and I'll go back to my original points, once they lock in on a guy, they can't adjust and say, well, maybe it's not quite that way.
Howard, it's like it's all or nothing. Like it was with Wentz. It's all or nothing. You're either a hero, or if you stay too long in Philly, you're a villain.
I'm going to read, and let me find the comment. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but it's a former NFL player who works for ESPN. So you'd have to choose, like, what do they have? 50 guys who former NFL players that work for ESPN. Here is his comment about Jalen Hurts when I asked him about it. Solid player, not a great quarterback. And, that probably he's good, but not great. And sometimes you need a great quarterback to overcome some of the other deficiencies. They don't have a real running game this year. And once you get to this point in the season, I don't think those kind of things change.
No.
You gotta work your way through it. And I know I mentioned it to a few people over the last few days, and you mentioned it, I think, earlier. The Eagles are 4-3 in their last 7 games.
Yeah.
It's so, that's 7 games is an interesting sample size.
Yeah.
Hey, are they a 4-3 team? No, I think they're better than that, but they still have been 4-3 over the last 7 games. Now they have a tough game on Friday. However, the Bears have to travel. They're the ones that are traveling on a short week. That's never good for a team. I think the Eagles will win the game. If they played same day, if they played on a neutral site, I think this would be a field goal game, but I don't think it's going to be a field goal game now. And then the Eagles have the Chargers, who I thought were better, and I don't know that they're really just average, but they play them on the road.
Giving the Eagles the benefit of the doubt, because where have they been where you thought they were world beaters this year?
They're not world beaters.
Yeah, so I mean, any team that if you can lose to the Giants and a 4-5-1 Cowboy team, you're capable of losing to anybody, Howard.
Well, the Cowboys got better on defense.
They did. Quinn Williams.
So, the thing is that the advantage, if there is an advantage for Chicago, the Eagles have won because of turnovers. If you really break it down, they've always won the turnover battle. I don't know what it was against the Cowboys. It was either even, or did the Eagles have?
Eagles had 2 turnovers in the ball game.
Okay, and the Cowboys had 2 turnovers, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So it was even.
Favors Dallas, because Dallas can throw themselves out of trouble.
The Eagles need to win the turnover battle.
That's right.
And the Bears, plus minus in turnovers, are phenomenal this year.
Yeah.
They're really phenomenal. So if the Eagles lose the turnover battle, then I think obviously that's a big part of winning and losing a game. If they lose the turnover battle, they're in a little bit of trouble. So that's the one thing. And because they had the turnovers this week, they're going to emphasize that, I'm sure, a lot more this week.
Let me walk backwards here and ask you what you thought of the Eagles dropping a 21-point lead and having 24 unanswered points scored on them in that ball game. What was your takeaway? Was that something of a precursor of we're to see things to come? Or do you think that was like Nick said in the press conference? He still thinks the philosophy's good. He thinks Kevin's good. He thinks everything's okay. He doesn't really think, now maybe that's what they're just telling the public. But in your opinion, is that a sign of things to come? Or was that an anomaly game?
I don't think you're going to see the Eagles score unless they have like 4 turnovers in a game. And against the Raiders, they could have 20 turnovers in a game, and they play the Raiders in Philadelphia. So, I mean, if they don't win that game by 14 to 20 points, then they ought to say, you know what, we're just not good enough this year. We're just not good enough. But that's down the road. They need to win the turnovers, but they're not going to. I would be surprised if the Eagles, other than the Raiders, score 30 points in a game this year. And that even includes the Redskins, who are turned into a joke this year. Now, Jaden Daniels will probably play in
at least one of them.
Yeah, they play the first one in Washington.
Yeah.
The NFL wants the last game in Philadelphia to mean something. So the NFL, they can say what they want. They're rooting for
home field.
Well, yeah. But they want that game to mean something. So they want Washington to win the game. That's why they scheduled 2 games within 3 weeks. They did it with the Giants too.
They did it with Carolina and the Bucks too.
I know. It's just it's just unfair, but they do. The NBA's doing that now. It's a little trick they play with the schedule to try to get keep teams close.
Let me ask you this one here, and I'm going to go back to some of the comments you made a couple weeks ago. You think the best quarterback right now is starting in the huddle for the Philadelphia Eagles?
I got myself in trouble. I didn't get in trouble. I mean, people got to accept it. Suck it up. I'm keeping it real. Fundamentally, Tanner McKee is a better quarterback. All right. Fundamentally.
I agree.
Okay. He gets through his progressions. He can do a bunch of things. You can have more variety, I think, from what I'm being told with the offense with Tanner McKee, but it ain't going to change, so it doesn't matter. Now, that doesn't mean that Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback. He's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, but fundamentally is probably where the Eagles have some issues. He doesn't turn the ball over because he doesn't throw the ball.
He's 24th and he's 24th in the league in attempts.
Yeah, well, it's because, and the other thing is that I notice he doesn't want to throw it. Sometimes you just got to throw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
I think that again, I'm just surmising just by observation that he doesn't want it to hurt his stats because that changes his percentage. Throwing it out of bounds is better than a sack. It's just there's certain things that you got to do that he doesn't get done. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. And I don't know with some of the issues.
You think he's built better for the personnel that's in Philly?
He was. You're talking about
McKee.
McKee.
You think McKee is probably
right now, because you can't just lean on the running game.
You can't run the ball right now.
Yeah,
and by the way, the Eagle O-line is doing one thing well. They're pretty good in pass protection right now.
Yeah.
They're not good in run. And with all the people that they have, I mean, let's go to AJ.
Remember, Cam Jurgens he's not what he was last year.
He's
he had
bottom 3 of the league right now when it comes to centers. When you're talking about if you go off,
so he's not the same. Right, he's not the same. You lost
AJ Brown. Do you think AJ Brown's lost a step?
I think he's lost a step, but I still think he's an excellent wide receiver. Excellent.
Now, Howard, is it lost a step or is it because less volume? Because in that game on Sunday, he had 6 targets in the first quarter. He had 9 for the entire game. They went away from him.
Well, they like to throw the ball. It's not many times that Jalen Hurts throws the ball in the center of the field because you're not going to get interceptions when you throw it on the edges because your receivers are really good at, if they have to be a defender, they will not allow an interception if the pass is underthrown. And you have Devontae Smith is the best receiver on the team. That's not saying that A.J. Brown's not really a good receiver. Devontae Smith is terrific. More speed, catches the one-on-one balls. He takes a hit as good as anybody. So slightly better, not much, slightly better, but A.J.'s still really good. But regardless of that, I don't think Jalen Hurts, just by looking at it, likes to throw into a tight window. And sometimes you got to do that.
Now, is it him, Howard, or is it Nick and Kevin knowing with the 3-page playbook that the guy's skill set going across the middle, one, he doesn't like it, one, he doesn't do it. That's why I got a number here for you too, Howard. Check this out. To your point, get this, the number 3 wide receiver on the team through 11 ball games. There's 16 catches between Dotson, Mechie, and Darius Cooper for 200 yards. They don't throw to the 3rd wide receiver. They throw to the numbers. And if they don't throw to the numbers, they'll throw some screens to the running back, and they'll find Goddard, who's not really having that great a year, even though the touchdown numbers are up. They throw to the numbers.
Yeah, he was good early. I mean, they found him early. But
that's to your point, though.
Yeah, but teams adjust. So when teams adjust, you have to adjust as well. The Eagles are a good team.
They are.
Are they a Super Bowl team?
No.
Not right now, they're not. No, they're not a Super Bowl team. But the fans go crazy, but they want to blame everybody but the players. I have not heard the fans blame. I don't think they've blamed any of the players.
Well, player accountability starts with me, number 1. Because I don't care who you are. They don't have the Jimmies and Joes. The coaches are going to go based off a skill set what players have. That's every NFL coach is going to go, this quarterback does this. This player, defensive tackle, does this. He does this well. He doesn't do. That's how you build game plans. You build them off a skill set. You don't build them off of a guy. This is what I do best. So to your point, that's why I always said, and I agree with you, Kevin Patullo, in my opinion, the guy's been in the league 15 years. He's had 2 position jobs. Okay, the rest of them have been quality control or special assistant to the assistant. They're not problem solvers right now, Howard, because you know why? They can't solve any problems because the quarterback's limited.
Well, and he's not the guy to blame.
He's not.
Nick Sirianni's on the headphones. If he doesn't like the play call, now he's not going to change it that many times. But once in a while, he might say, in a tough situation, you got to, like the 3rd and 2. The 3rd and 2, what was it, about 2 minutes left in the game? I think that's a play that is discussed on the headphones between the offensive coordinator and the head coach. Not discussed, but it's just, hey, what do you think about, okay, boom. Yeah. And why don't we try this? So it doesn't happen that often. He's not going to take the play calling out of his hands. But again, you've pretty much gone through the playbook. I don't know how many offensive plays they had at that point, but whatever they had, they probably used most of them that are in the playbook for that game. So, yeah, I'm so tired of blaming coaches. Hey, there are coaches that are complete dopes. Barry Switzer was a complete dope. Rich Kotite with the Eagles was a complete dope. Buddy Ryan was a terrific defensive coordinator, but a brutal head coach. Brutal. So there are coaches, and you can identify that pretty quickly.
Immediately.
But I think Nick Sirianni is a very good coach. I think Kevin Patullo, he came into a situation, and believe me, Kellen Moore knew what the situation was.
He did, and that's why they ran the ball. He's a passing guy. Howard, he is. Howard, let me go here. Do you believe, in your opinion, this organization, when it comes up to date, I want to get you on the record for this. Do you think they extend Jalen Hurts?
Sign him?
Yeah, do you think they extend him?
Extend him. No, he's got one more, I think, big
2
year
years.
money-wise. He's got 2 big years left. Oh,
yeah.
They're not going to. No, absolutely not. I would be beyond shocked if they extend him. Why do you need to extend him with 2 years left? First of all, I don't agree with that philosophy anyway.
Look at how it bit him with Barkley.
Well, yeah, but Barkley's making what, 14 million as opposed to 50 or 60.
Now. He's making 20 now.
Okay, and the quarterback makes 50 something million.
Right.
So if you extend him, he's going to get, because the salary cap's going to go up. Are you going to pay him 55 to 60 million a year? You can't do it. You've got to be right when you put that money to the quarterback. That's why Arizona is stuck. I don't know how much Kyler Murray has, but there's teams that are stuck with quarterbacks. What are you going to do?
Yeah, no, you can't dig your way out of this. Hey, I want to ask you something about leadership here.
So I don't think, to answer your question, I don't think they're going to extend him.
I want to ask you, and I want to expand on this with you. You've been around all these players. Do you think that Jalen Hurts is a leader when he feels like it, and he's a situational leader, and that he looks at how, I was shocked you said it. I mean, I couldn't believe it, and I have great respect for that guy as a player. I don't know about a talk show. For you, Douglas, I don't know about a talk show guy, but as a player who's been in it, he says that, and it came out like, Jalen Hurts is not the greatest leader. He's a leader when he wants to be. If anything's going sideways, he's not in front. If everything's going well, he's out in front. To me, that sounds like a front runner. And so, you tell me if you think that is fair or unfair.
Extremely fair.
Wow.
I put the word extremely in. Extremely fair. See, I like you, Douglas.
I do too.
Got to know him really well when he was a player. Actually, we talked about his career after football when he was a player, and we talked about things. And I'm glad he came to Philadelphia. We talked about it. He wasn't going to come, and because I think he's honest. He knows what's going on. I kind of know the same things he does. but he can say it because he's an ex-player. I say it, I get my ass kicked verbally by some of these morons. You know, and I've been doing it for years. Hey, listen.
Yeah, but you're used to
I've been doing it
taking
for
the
years
bullets.
because
You have a bulletproof jacket on.
well, don't
You know,
I hate,
you
that's
do.
not a good term. That's not a good term right now.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we're in a lame ass society type now. Right
Yeah,
now.
you know, I don't want to,
With
any of
what
that
we
stuff.
say here.
But
Okay.
the thing is, it's just people they can't handle the truth. I've been, hey, listen, I don't count when I'm an opinion based on people that I've talked to. So it's not just throwing crap out there. I've been right most of the time because I kind of get background on a lot of the things. I've been right probably 85 to 90% of the time.
You're not going to throw
I'm
that.
not perfect. Yeah.
You're not going to throw that McKee thing out unless you haven't talked. I told people, Sandra and I both said it. I go, you think he just randomly threw that out? This guy's talked to people, and behind the scenes, he's hanging around the team. He hears people go like this. Hey, Jalen's a good player, but as a skill set, McKee's better. There's no shame in that.
I know. And just people, because people they like idols. And fans idolize players. You cannot say anything negative about an Eagles player. Now, were they happy with AJ Brown and all his, throwing it out there, and he's not doing that anymore? No, that's not good. But he wins the game for him, and they're right back on his side. Hey, they were excited when he scored the touchdown. Oh yeah, say whatever you want.
Hey, Howard, how do you think Jeffrey Luri is handling this year with all the noise, with the problems that you have in the offense? You've talked to Doug. I've talked to Doug. I mean, Doug, from what I'm hearing, and you told me this too, Doug had these psychotic meetings. If the offense wasn't playing well, all of a sudden there'd be these crazy meetings out of nowhere, even if you win games. Hey, why is the offense struggling? I mean, I don't know if Nick is in that position where he's got those kind of conversations with the owner, but where do you think the owner is in this?
You know what? I'm sure he has those conversations with the owner. I'm sure. I would be surprised if the owner doesn't talk to the head coach at least three times a week.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's not like I'm saying I'm scheduling a meeting. Hey, listen, he's home, gives him a call.
Oh, he
hey,
sees him on the field, or he'll come out to the field, or be down
field,
in the field.
and then it's just after the game they always talk.
Okay.
You know, that's why Nick's always the last one. Jalen is, because he takes forever to get dressed after a game. But Nick's a while. That's okay. I mean, you can do it. Quarterbacks do that. They get treatment or whatever. But the owner is always in the office of the head coach after the game. Now, I bet you that happens with most teams. But he also talks to him during the week, even if he's not in town and he's at one of his other homes. I know he talks to him. So, I'm telling you right now, I think the reason Nick Sirianni's the head coach of the Eagles is because Jeffrey Luri. Now, if you make a mistake, you correct your mistake, which Jeffrey Luri has done. But from what I remember back when all that happened, the biggest reason that Nick Sirianni is the head coach of the Eagles was Jeffrey Luri.
Okay, Howie Roseman. A couple more here. Last one's here for you, Howard. Howie Roseman this year. How well do you think he's done with this football team this year?
Well, like everybody, he can't be 100%.
That's right.
I think he's done a lot of good things. When you win, you lose players. He got a third round pick for Josh Sweat. You knew he was going to go, and I know he's having a good year. He's having a good year for a losing team, but he's still having a good year.
Milton's having a really good year.
Yeah, and Milton's having a good year. So, but you can't keep everybody. So you got to try to go out. You got to try to draft well. Zach Bourne was 2 years ago. Nakobe Dean was a draft pick, and he's playing his ass off. You have players on that team that have done really well for him. He gave up a lot in terms of a draft pick for Phillips, but
a third rounder.
You need that guy. I'm trying. He signed. They signed Brandon Graham, and I thought Brandon should have stayed retired.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's all right. Yeah, he should have stayed
absolutely.
retired. He ended that. He went out with a Super Bowl, but they didn't know they were going to get Phillips, so you wanted to have a little depth at that position. And then he's had guys like Huff, didn't work out. Devon White, who didn't play a second. And you've had guys that just haven't worked out. But for the most part, I think if you had to give Howie grades are all just subjective. Objective, subjective. I don't know which word I'm supposed to use here, but either one works. I would give him a B plus. I give him a B plus. I don't give him an A because there's been some mistakes, but everybody makes mistakes. It's hard to get an A with that in that position in the NFL.
I want to read you something here with the final one here, and I want to give you something that was texted to me this morning, and I think you can fill it in. Happy Thanksgiving, Dan. You know I love you very much, man. Obviously, I've not been able to listen or watch the show, but I did see a month ago or two, and I got feedback from people in Philadelphia about something you said that I said on the show.
Something that I said or you said?
I said, obviously, you're your own man and you have a great show and your opinions, and there's no doubt. I saved this for you, by the way. And it goes on further. He goes, Nick is my guy. So is Kevin Patullo. I have nothing but love for both them men. Nick is a really good coach. Kevin is going to be a fine coach. Until somebody else dethrones them, they're the champs. I keep hearing feedback from people in the PR department about you commenting on things that were said on your show. It's hard to repeat having an explosive year like this. I know that we're in this position here and shit happens, but if you could possibly not mention my name, I would much appreciate it because I've known him 40 years. We're friends. We're great friends, this particular guy. I think you know what we're talking about. And
I don't, but I'll find out. But I would never say. He wants to remain anonymous. That's fine. But
well, I'm going to send you the text right now, Howard, and I'll send you the text after the show so that you can.
Yeah, I'm not gonna dime.
No, but I'm going to send you who it is, and
okay.
I don't want you not to know who it is, so I got to put context here with it, and so it's on the way right now, and. Then here, yeah. So let me do this, and I'll send you the text, and I'll send you the text after the program. And so because I had said something that he said on the program, and I said that.
So you get out of that message you got. What do you get out of that?
That they monitor all these shows and anything negative.
Yeah, well, they monitor them and they can pull them up anywhere. Like these shows, your show and my show.
They're archived.
They're archived. Even the radio, there's a program now where you can just go back and give the date and the time.
Yeah,
and you can get
what was
said. Yeah, you can get what was said, and they would do it. I don't like the PR people are supposed to help the media, and there are times that they work against them here in Philadelphia. And listen, if somebody is wrong, right, I'm happy to talk to a player, and I've done that multiple times. And I told the player, and I've addressed it with players when I've said things. Well, let's sit down and talk. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to say I'm wrong. But don't try to bully me and threaten me, or you, or anybody,
or my job.
And because in the NFL you have leverage. A lot of people need interviews, and without the PR department, a lot of times, not all the time, a lot of times you can't get those interviews. Hey, listen, you take it. Somebody asked a question of Nick Sirianni, and I could swear I don't know that for a fact. It was a week ago. I'm saying the PR department had to put him up to that.
When they put that thing out that Kevin Patullo was up for a head coaching job, that's from the Eagles, man. NFL.com is owned by the league. It's not
Well,
owned by
those insiders usually get agents that say, "Hey, listen, put this out." And I don't know if that's from the Eagles. That could be from an agent because
Yeah,
he knows there's probably
yep,
time to move
yep.
on. And they say, "Hey, listen, take care of me on this, and I'll take care of you on other things," because they represent other people. So, but they're supposed to work with you, and that's what I learned in all my years in television more than radio, because television PR has to be on top of it, and they really are on top of it.
Do you
And
think,
and I
Howard,
learned those things.
do you think, Howard, I'm going to say something here, and you just tell me, and you shoot me down, and you call me an idiot if I say this about you, because I'm going to say this about you on what's happened over the last 2 years here. I think your accessibility to these teams, I think that's the reason why they Judiced you.
Oh
Is
yeah, there's no question.
Your accessibility to the Phillies, to the Eagles, to the Sixers, to all the people that at the end became your undoing, because those people couldn't handle the fact
But I can
that you
still,
had background on all these folks.
yeah,
And Howard, when you have that kind of accessibility, that stuff is going to haunt you in the end. Like
yeah,
that.
because they want to control
That's
the
right.
narrative. Yeah,
That's right.
and it's just, and some teams, I know a lot of the PR people, probably more in football, probably more in football than any other sport. And everyone I talk to just can't believe, you got to work with the guy. You got to work. Hey, listen, if the guy's wrong, or you say, "Hey, listen, can you back off of that?" You trade.
Yeah.
I'll go way back. And remember Pat Williams?
Yeah.
I don't know how many people
Tremendous.
do.
I mean, I don't. How about
Wonderful
this?
guy.
I'm sure he did this with you too. When Pat Williams, God rest his soul, was alive, I must have got $7,000 a month from the guy. I mean, he would send me.
But he was good. I had
guy.
the story. I had the Julius Erving trade, and it
wow.
was when the ABA and the NBA were going to merge. So we had to do a whole bunch of different things to make it work. And I called him just to try to say, "Hey, listen, I'm going to go with this."
He was president of the Sixers at the time.
Yes, president of the Sixers. And he says, and he called me Howie. He says, "Howie," he always called me Howie. He said, "Howie, can you hold that? This is really delicate because the merger's happening. There's all kinds of things that have to go on for this to happen." And there really were. I'm friends with his son, and his son explained, I didn't know all the things. I knew there were a lot. He says, "Just hold on to it." He says, I says, "But give it to me before it comes out. Once you get it done." He says, "Okay." So you work with people with those kind of things. You work with people, and if they work with you, it's a two-way street. But sometimes it's not a two-way street because the NFL is so powerful. It's so powerful. And you can't use it as a hammer. And I just, I felt, I don't want to get too deep into it, but it's just unfair to bully people and to threaten people. And that's not the way it should be.
They threaten people with their key fobs.
Yeah.
When it comes to accessibility, and people's livelihoods are on it. And when you guys had those great newspaper people, and let me tell you something again, Howard, New York, I wasn't raised on the New York sports talk, because the first true sports talk folks were you guys at IP, and that old 610, was it?
Yeah.
That old 610 frequency went all the way up to Connecticut. I'd listen to it every single, I mean, who was the guy that was on CBS that was in the mornings? What was his name that owned the station? WIP?
Tom Brookshire?
Tom Brookshire used to be
He
on
was
that
a former
thing.
Eagle player.
Am I saying that right? When Tom Brookshire was on that thing?
Yeah, he had a little piece of it because Ed Snyder with Spectacor bought the station at one time.
Or the Flyers guy, yeah.
Yeah, and so it was Metro Media. When they put me on, it was Metro Media. And the general manager wanted to do sports talk for the station, so he asked me to do the first show because I went to do just a 10 o'clock news. So he said, and I had done sports talk before. He says, "Would you do an afternoon show?" So I want to turn it into a sports station. And then eventually Ed Snyder, who was owner of the Flyers, and Spectacor bought it, and Tom Brookshire and he were friends. Tom had a little piece of it and was on in the morning. So it was kind of it was an interesting dynamic the way all that stuff, all those things started, but it worked. It became bigger than life. I mean,
Are you proud of the station now?
No.
Why?
Because it's going to get deep here. Because they're not honest with people. Management just trying to save their ass. And they just get rid of people to save money, not because it's better for the station. So in most cases, you either don't replace that person or hire part-time people. And then with part-time, I guess the benefits aren't they don't have to pay as much in benefits. So it's with the union, there's probably a little bit, but not that, not that much. Yeah, it's a union shop.
Okay.
So, but they don't pay attention to the union. They just ignore the union. And they had a contract that didn't get finalized for over 3 years. So they say, hey, this is what we're going to do. You figure it out. But
you think that goes across all the landscape of all media people in Philadelphia now? How much do you think it's changed in the last 5 years, 6 years, media across the board? 97.5, WIP.
Well, they're all trying to save money. The radio is in deep trouble.
You think it's dying?
People listen to podcasts. Oh yeah, it's been dying. Dying a slow death. The revenues aren't the same. The listenership's not the same. There's automobile manufacturers that are eliminating AM, FM radios from their new vehicles.
Tesla.
So Tesla, and I think Audi's going to eliminate AM, which AM's useless now. But which is kind of a shame because I had 25 years on AM and was number one in the afternoon with AM.
Too. I did 25 years on AM radio.
And I did the first sports talk show on FM for WIP. So, but I don't trust them. I don't believe them. They're all trying to save their ass. They're all just trying to do what's politically for themselves, politically correct. When you're not honest with people and you're not loyal to the people that are loyal to you, that's a problem. And I think that's a big problem with WIP.
Howard, if they didn't have the Eagles on their station,
they'd be in trouble. Oh my God, they would be in trouble. Without the Eagles and the Phillies, remember they have the two best sports franchises in Philadelphia. So without the Eagles and the Phillies, they're dead meat. They are dead meat.
Last one for you. Are they a one and done team, the Eagles, in the postseason?
Now the first game will be at home because they're going to win the division. So the first game will be at home. I don't know who they're going to play.
You're assuming there'll be a wild card round because the Rams will win home field.
Well, you would think so at this point.
Yeah.
Although the Eagles, with 2 games against Washington, a game against the Raiders, and against some weak teams. Yep. But I think the Rams can win here. But that wouldn't be the first game because the Rams are going to win the division. So they're not a one and done team. But right now, as we speak, they are not a Super Bowl team. Eagles fans, suck it up. Understand it. They've got to get better. They can get better. Remember, they were lucky to beat the Rams. So the Rams are just a better team. So the Rams aren't afraid to come here to Philadelphia if they have to come to Philadelphia.
No.
And I don't even know who's good in the AFC when you look at those teams. Is Denver finds ways to win. I just sometimes you don't know how they do it.
Too. Patriots and Colts. I mean,
I think the Colts they'll kind of seek their. I think they'll kind of seek their level.
You know what though, Howard? The one thing about the Colts is their run game with Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah,
obviously he's really good. Their defense. Vrabel's changed the entire landscape of that entire team. But I'm with you. I mean, you get them in a playoff game. You really trust them? And then there's Kansas City. This game on Turkey Day between the Cowboys and them, this could be an elimination game because whoever loses that game, I mean, the Cowboys are trying to fight for a playoff spot.
Hey, listen, I love Andy Reid. He's the best coach in football right now. He will be one of the top 3 all time for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And not just with wins, but with the kind of coach he is. and I root for him. And there's a lot of people there that used to work for the Eagles that I like and I stay in touch with. I root for them. They're just not good enough. They can't go to the Super Bowl. I mean, who are we fooling here? They find ways to win, but they struggle in finding ways to win. They're not a Super Bowl team. They're just not a Super Bowl team. So I don't know. Who else besides Denver? Buffalo is kind of, their defense is brutal.
Oh my God! You called it there, and you talk about disappointing this year. There's no doubt that Sean McDermott. If you're supposed to specialize in one side of the ball, and that side of the ball is failing, you're failing as a head coach. Especially, I think Joe Brady's done a nice job. It's either hit or miss with Allen. If Allen's not playing well, they stink. They get beat.
Right.
I mean, I really think the most consistent team. How about this? I'll tell you somebody else to keep an eye on, Howard. Keep an eye on Baltimore. Let me tell you what, they started brutally.
If they start to get it together,
win the North.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because Pittsburgh stinks.
That's right.
Pittsburgh's a fraud. And Indiana, I think Baltimore and Indianapolis, Baltimore wins that game. The Patriots, I can't believe they're 10-2. They'll have the home field, but it might not make any difference.
Are you buying Denver? Denver beat the Eagles.
Yeah. I mean, Denver's a 2-loss team as well. So if I had to rank the AFC, Denver would be number 1. I would probably put Baltimore number 2.
Okay.
And probably New England number 3 and Indianapolis number 4. There's just something about New England. It could be kind of their year, but I don't think they can go to the Super Bowl.
Hey, Howard, did you have a good relationship with Shane Steichen?
Yes, I did.
What kind of guy is he?
Quiet guy, but a very, very good guy and a very sharp guy. But remember, there was no expectations when he was the offensive coordinator. So it's a lot easier.
He took over after 6 games, right? Am I right? They were 2-4, some 2-3.
Yeah, well,
I forget it. In 21, he took over, and then
did he take over for Brian? Took over for Brian Johnson?
No, he took over for Nick.
Oh, you mean the play calling?
Play call, yeah.
Okay, but Brian Johnson, who was the offensive coordinator between Brian Johnson and wasn't Brian Johnson the offensive?
The first coordinator under Nick was Nick first, then it went Shane, then it went Brian Johnson.
Oh, then it went Brian Johnson.
Yeah, then it went Kellen, and now it's Kevin Patullo.
Okay, Shane Steichen, but when he was the play caller and the offensive coordinator, the expectations weren't there. Now that there's expectations, the whole game changes. So whatever happened was a plus if you won a game. So Shane Steichen's obviously a very sharp guy, but it doesn't matter who the offensive coordinator is here now. I hate to break the news to people. It does not matter. The players need to make plays, and they've got to get better in a few areas.
Let me sneak this last one in. Angelo said this yesterday.
Angelo who?
Angelo said this. He goes, if they ever ended up taking play calling away from Kevin Patullo, you would never know it publicly. And he said this. He said,
yes, you would. Yes, you would. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The camera's always on a guy. If you see a guy talking or covering his mouth when he's calling on a play, wait a minute. The offensive coordinator is on the field. He's not up in the box.
Do you think they would make that move in season this late?
No. Nope. Because they know it's not his fault. They know it's not his fault. I hate to break the news to these Eagles fans, these rocket scientists, these geniuses, these oh my God.
Hey, listen, I've learned it too, man. I can't believe if you say anything about one of these players, man, it's like you're talking about their mom or their girlfriend. It's ridiculous, and it's actually quite obnoxious. But I see where
what? I don't need to be. I hate that term too. You know what? But I said it, so I'll stick with it. I like to be right because I like to think that I've worked hard enough to know the answers, not because I'm right. But a guy was driving down the street yesterday. I still walk like 8 to 10 miles a day. And a guy's driving down the street. I think it was a construction guy. And he says, you might be right about Tanner McKee. Now, I'm not going to go out there. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's a lot of other things that have to happen for this team to get to the Super Bowl, and it's not just it's the quarterback, but it's other areas of the team. But I'm saying the guy remembered that. But hey, listen, I don't want to be right, but I'm just basing it on
You're talking
the
what you're
information that
seeing
I've gotten. Yeah, it's
and
just
hearing. Hey, dude, I got to get handed to you, man. I mean, you've taken. I mean, you're like the guy. Like I saw, I used to see a picture of the New Yorker with Ali, with all of those arrows in them. That should be a picture of you in Philadelphia Sports Talk with
you
that.
know what
I
it's
think that's a
something I've
merit
done for
badge,
a
though.
long
I
time.
think that's a merit badge. Though.
Yeah, it is. I think in the end, people may not want to say it, but they
Oh no,
understand it.
you're the best that ever lived in that city. There's no doubt about it.
Well, so,
Well, yeah,
but
listen, I know.
Kevin Petullo is not really the issue here.
No, he's a pawn.
There's limitations, but
Who do you
again,
have coming on? Who do you have coming on the next?
well,
on
actually,
Saturday?
wait a minute. Tomorrow I was going to take the day off, but there's Eagles fans. I got to straighten their ass out. So I'm going to I'm not having a guest tomorrow night, tomorrow being Wednesday. I'm going to come on and try to lay it out for people and, have them join the show and just spill their heart and souls to me. And I'm going to try to put them on the couch, try to explain it to them, try to give them a little help, try to.
Oh, no, don't worry. With some of the comments you made today, trust me, there'll be a lot of fire. There'll be a lot of trash can fires here in about. Xander, in about 20 minutes, we'll have a lot of Howard Eskin trash can fires going right now.
Oh yeah, and they take it. Oh, you're too old. You should retire. I'm not too old. I feel good. You're not old. You're older. You just hey, listen. I can. I have a lot of younger people. When I say younger people, kids in their 20s, who listen to me. But obviously, if I was too old, that they wouldn't listen to me. So,
I think you pick your spots better.
Yeah, it's just so whatever. You got to deal with it. And then people, I was done dirty, and I'll leave it at that. I was done really dirty. It's a lot of bullshit out there that's not true, and that was wrong. And I tried to move on.
Well, why do you let that hang out there then?
Well, there's,
is there legal things going on?
They're done. The legal things are done.
Howard, why do you allow that to hang out there?
Well,
people go like this to me.
Hey, let me just tell you this right now.
Call me a racist or this and that, and I'm not going to let that hang out there like that.
Well, I don't let that out there, but the truth will set you free. I always believe that. When I write the book, I'm looking for a writer. It'll all be in the book. It'll lay it all out, and all the crumbs that were there, and all the liars, and all the disloyal people, and all the phonies. It'll all come out.
Boy, I'll be buying that book. That's for dang sure. Howard, I can't wait to see how this game on Friday pans out. You are absolutely awesome with your time with me, and I thank you so much. Always. And I think we're building a nice friendship up. I got to tell you, too, the seesaw that you guys put Philadelphia on between you and Angelo Cataldi for over 35 years, I mean, holy cow, man. These guys were seasick during the week.
Well, that's all. You just got to take some medication for it. That's all.
Howard, thank you, my friend. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody out there. And tomorrow night, we'll have a Thanksgiving show. And I'm going to have a couch out, and we're going to lay it out. We're going to try to explain it to you so you kind of accept reality.
You need a thermometer for that tomorrow, I think.
Yeah,
Howard,
I know where to put it, too.
Howard, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you so much, man.
See you later.
You got it. That is Howard Eskin. Woo, baby. That's good stuff. Absolutely. Oh, my God. Listen, Howard wasn't going to do it, but now he's got to give you guys therapy. He's basically going to give Philadelphia therapy tomorrow night. Listen, sit down, Uncle Eskin is going to tell you tomorrow, this is what it is. Don't fall in love ever with your whoopee named Jalen Herz. Yeah. All right, let me pay some bills here. How you doing? Our good friends at Morgan & Morgan during this holiday season want you to know happy Thanksgiving to each and every single one of you. And our friends have been in business for over 25 years, making sure families like yours are being protected with thousands of attorneys from coast to coast, protecting you and your families. Listen, if you're ever hurt or injured on the job, please do me a favor. Check out my friends at Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Law 529 and do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Big Sills National Football Show. Appreciate you coming aboard, each and every single one of you. Thank you guys so much. Nick Sirianni also spoke. By the way, Landon Dickerson having to walk something back that he said something about the football team and about the preparation. And then once again, the media department coming in and cleaning up after the fact. You see, to me, I think players, in my opinion, I think players give you their true feelings and their emotions right after the game. And that's why when Howard was talking about Jalen Hurts getting dressed and taking so much time to get out there, you know what I think that is? They're prepping him for answers that he's going to give. Because if there's a bad performance or what have you, You want to hear right away from the guys because that's when you're going to get the emotions of the game. If you wait till Tuesday or Wednesday, that's all stuff that's PR driven. That's what that stuff is. It's PR driven. The stuff that you have right at the game, like when Howard Eskin goes into and he's after the game and he's talking to these players, that's the truth you're going to get. You're going to get the player because he's got the emotions of the game still. He's got the emotions of winning and losing. And you're going to get pretty much exactly how he feels at that moment. Okay? Hey, listen. Like, M. Reyes is like a Pied Piper for the PR department because you know what he'll do? He won't believe the players after the game. He believes the organization. Tuesday through Friday. Those are where the lies are. Those are the lies. That's the lie. The truth is right after the game. By the way, Howard held to his guns. And he basically said the best quarterback is the one that's not starting. Also said that there's no way they're extending Jalen Hurts. I think he's right there. Why would you? Sills, what about his resume? Hey, I think you can upgrade. You guys are wanting to upgrade a coordinator. The coordinator's 8-3. Why can't you upgrade a quarterback? Why can't you upgrade a quarterback? Huh? Anybody would upgrade that. Anybody. Offense would be fine if they just give AJ the ball and get out of the way. They're not, hey, to us, backup. They are not going to do that. You're missing all of the conversation if you believe that all of a sudden they're going to have an epiphany and change direction. They're not changing direction. Not on November 25th. Not when you come off of a nuclear meltdown like the Cowboy game. They're going to be more steadfast in their approach now than ever before. You know what a sign of change is? It's a sign of panic. I'm sure these Eagle fans have been singing that song, I Should Have Been a Cowboy, the last couple of days. Hee-haw! Ooh. I will say this, my friend. Better hope that that's not your shining moment for 2025 is beating the Eagles. Because if that's it, that's a low bar. Because that's not a very good offense. That's the worst offense in Philadelphia in 5 years. That might be even worse than Hertz's first year. Seals, you see Johnny Mack? So inspirational. Mack was on timing. JAKIB on top. I heard he told Reuben Franks to shut the fuck up. JAKIB, baby. The outlaw of Philadelphia media. God, I love it. Hey, J-Mac. He ain't being... That is so awesome. The bad guys of Philly. JAKIB Media. John's telling people to shut the fuck up, and we're telling you the truth. Good grief. How you doing? So proud. Holy cow. This is incredible. Shut the fuck up. Fucking great. I can't, but oh my God. That's how you do it, man. Hey, I'm sure they'll have a conversation with John after that too. John, can't be talking like that in here. Okay. Well, don't interrupt me. Who the hell is he? He doesn't have any other right in here over me. Who's he? Dan back after just getting off work, caught Eskin saying it's not Petulo's fault, but also heard multiple times he's the wrong OC. Well, yeah, that's exactly what we've been saying. If Petulo was even partly to blame, how can he be to blame when the quarterback skill set is what it is? He's the wrong guy. Hey, and I said this too, Jay Money. Herz is terrible right now. That's not really all his fault. They got a shitty coach in there for him. He's not the right guy. Kevin Petulo's the wrong coordinator for him. Dude, you want to see the Philadelphia playbook? I have a copy. How many people want to see the Philadelphia playbook? You guys want to see it? I got a copy of it. It's a secret copy. You guys want to see the Philadelphia playbook? Would you like to see it? You guys really want to see the Philadelphia playbook? Do you guys want to see an actual Philadelphia playbook? Ready? There it is. Here's the Philadelphia playbook. Right here. It's got about 60 pages in it. Okay? Right here. It's got about 60 pages in it. And the game plan is this. There's an actual game plan. 1, 2, 3. It's 3 pages. There's your game plan. It's like connect the dots, in the old cram books. Go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like that's how they do pass routes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? You could draw a playbook on shithouse paper or a game plan on shithouse paper for the Eagles. Correct 4, yeah. It's a coloring book. Stay in the lines. Hey, Hertz, you're out of the line. Stay in the lines. Yes, sir. Jason, when did he apologize for it? He didn't do it. And financially, talking about Howard, I don't know about that stuff. I want to see the book. Okay? Hey, Roll, don't get all bent out of shape because somebody called your boyfriend bad. It's true, though, man. Say anything about Jalen. God, oh my God. You see my Twitter account. Wait till those sound bites get out. What Howard just said. This kid's going to have to clean up a lot of shit after this. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you who wrote that to me, but I got a text message. Like, I couldn't believe it. And I've known this guy 40 years. Sills, do me a favor, man. You know, the stuff we say on the show, I go, yeah, but wait a minute, buddy. You said it on the program. It's not that anything that I said that I made up. Yeah, I know, but they took a screenshot of it on Twitter and sent it to me. I was like, okay. Hey, all they have to do is go back and listen to the show. I mean, now they're sending screenshots to coaches that come on the program and other assistants. Portland and Dickerson. Hey, when you know how they get you? when they start paying you $20 million, that's when they got you, because then they could do more to you. Because then you got to protect that $20 million. Told you, Sills, Herz was going to suck this year. He jinxed himself because he wants shine and be a fake politician instead of proving his craft. Man, you're not. Hold on here, and I appreciate the super, brother. You don't really think not going to the White House. Come on, man. I don't know about that. Okay. Sills, that's nothing new. They've been doing this BS. They've all been doing this BS. Howard and Sills bounce made up stuff. I made up that Hugh Douglas said something and Shady McCoy said something. I made up that Howard Eskin made a comment about the backup quarterback. He was a silent reporter for the team for 15 years. What's made up? Hey, Roll, what's made up? What was made up? I'm curious. What was made up? Here, what was made up, guy? What was made up? Picking the two things you didn't. Oh, wait. Okay. Well, then what was made up? What was made up? Give me one thing. Okay. Take the two things out, I said. What was made up? If you're going to make a comment like that, what was made up? Howard getting the text, you screenshot story. I'll send it to Xander. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll show you this. No, I can't because I don't want that guy's name out there. So, Xander, why don't you do me a favor? Okay? I'm going to send it to him, and I want Xander to comment and see if he gets it or not. He don't have to lie. Xander don't lie for me. He said I made this up. Okay. Xander, I just sent you a text. And by the way, let me make sure so we can do this so that you don't feel uncomfortable. Here you go, Big Z. By the way, that one line in there, Xander, Frank realizes now that I never said something that I said he said that I said on my show. I told him that was never said. It was another text. Okay? So roll. Confirmed. You fucking tell me what was made up. Why would I make shit up to you? WIP and the Eagles make shit up to you. I don't make shit up. What else now was made up for 30 minutes? Roll. What else? Curious. So far you've been called a bullshit artist, you. Twice. What did I make up? Anything? And keep your fucking mouth shut. I give you everything and I'm transparent. with everything we do here. Okay? That's right. Okay, listen, you can call me anything you want. Don't call me a liar. Not a liar. Seriously, you call me an asshole, you can call me anything you want. I'm not a liar. I don't fucking lie. I don't lie. We don't lie here. Xander doesn't lie. John McMullen doesn't lie. Nobody lies here. IP, 97, all those places, they all lie to you. We don't lie. It's why they hate us. They want us to lie. Okay? You want us to lie. Dwight, you got one story to stick, you fucking jabroni. You're a parrot. You talk to this guy and that guy, and they tell you this and that. And apparently the text, Frank called you out for your BS. Frank never called me out. Frank didn't call me out on anything. My friends don't call me out. Call me out? Why? Because he said something on this program? Called me out? My fucking friends don't call me out. Absolutely. Call me out? The guy started out the text by telling me how much he loves me and how much we've been friends for 40 years. And that the stuff I'm saying on the air is getting him in trouble with the Eagles. You're such a propaganda. You'll believe everything. Bet you believe in the Russian hoax. Stills, did this surprise you? Merrill can't come on anymore. You see WIP putting him on now? Never did before. You know why? But they don't know how to use Merrill. They don't let Merrill talk and tell stories. His storytelling, they don't use him right. They don't know what they're doing. Why I love this show so much. Okay? Even though you hate my team. I don't hate your... Bro, are you kidding? I love your team. But here, what I can't do. Ode, you know what I can't do? I can't lie to you and parachute into your market and tell you I've been an Eagle fan my whole life. That wouldn't be true. And I think you'd probably agree with that. Sileo would parachute in, and that's what all the radio new guys do. They parachute into Philly. Hey, I've been an Eagle fan my whole life. Not me. But I do tell you this. I love your fan base. It's one of the greatest fan bases I've ever fucking talked to. And it is fun. Okay? It is fun. Hey, I love your fan base. Your team, I love covering it. Oof. I just love it. But you wouldn't respect me if I went, hey, I'm an Eagle fan. That's not true. But that's what people do. And by the way, that's why you don't have a lot of new faces in radio in Philadelphia. Because you know why? They want to hire Eagle fans. They don't want to hire people like me. Because I would completely upset the apple cart. By the way, if I ever did radio in Philly, I'd be number one in 2 books. 2 books. And I'd be fired in 4. Dude said Sills is a liar. Can't bullshit a bullshitter. Admitting he's a bullshitter himself. You can't make this up. Dusty behavior. Entertains us for 4 hours. Not easy to do. With 2 breaks. Hey, I could go without a break. But Xander gets pissed at me because we got to pay some bills. Here we go. You've never heard that saying, Jason, you took 50 years old? Bro, you're so good for... Man, I tell you what, you are a great caller to those stations. You're probably high on their list. Hey, you know what? I'm going to work on this. Oh, no, wait. The NBC Philadelphia people have been informed by Bob Lang that they can't come on my show. Hey, you know what was really cool? Is Barrett Brooks wished me a happy Thanksgiving. I haven't spoken to him in a while, and I love the guy very much and his family. Barrett, thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, brother. I know you're not allowed on this show because the Eagles don't want you on. But hey, we love you too, bro. Xander does too. Joe Krause, everyone here at JAKIB wishes you a happy Thanksgiving. Got no ill will towards him. No ill will towards Seth. Nothing. Love Seals being part of my routine for the past 3 years. That's awesome, man. And I can't thank you enough about that. We can't roll without you. Okay? Dude, so now what? You get called out for being a liar. Now you're attacking people in here. It just shows you how limited you are. You're as limited as your quarterback. So somebody doesn't follow along. You get called out for your bullshit. And now you attack them? Really? Hey, bro, you're the guy that gets his ass kicked in a bar. He's the guy that gets his ass kicked in a bar, especially in a place like Philly. This guy gets his ass kicked. Well, you're an asshole. What are you, 5? What a tool. At least other people patting you on the back, Sills. I know you can't do it yourself. Fair enough. That's my kind of guy. We're good. Hey, by the way, you're right, Twiz. Hey, too much backslapping? Even Xander can't do it. Sills, great stuff. And, okay, that's enough. Xander's got a vomit bag limit. He's a guy from Philly. These guys don't glaze people that are really good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, I got to tell you, it don't go like that. Who likes that shit? We're all from the New England area. Like I said, man, we're from the East Coast. I mean, there's a different human guy. Seal's the guy that eats the peanuts at the bar. Yeah. Oh, my God. Fantastic. I literally said, dude, you're like 2 years old. Sileo, keep being you. Never going to agree with you 100%. All I want. That's everything I want right here. Right here, 12. That's my kind of dude right there, bro. Those are the people I'm trying to attract. I don't want fucking yes men on my program. I never have. You know what my wife used to do? My wife would screen the calls, and if you agreed with me, you could only call once a week. If you disagreed, you could call twice. Totally true. And it went back and forth like that. Oh, yeah. If you disagreed, you could call twice a week. If you agreed, you only got once a week. I don't want agreeing. Yeah, Dan, you're right. Yeah, Dan, you're right. I sound like an IP show. Yeah, Joe, you're right. Ike, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Put me to sleep. What organization doesn't protect itself anywhere in the country? Oh, no. I get it. You should protect yourself. But when you start calling other people's jobs where those people work and you're threatening other people when you have no say in business decisions, you don't think that's over your skis? You think it's right the Eagles get to call a company that has no business relations with at all in any way to call them and have me fired? What balls do you think you have? You think you have a right to do that? Let me pay some bills here. Morgan & Morgan, number one injury law firm in all of America for a reason. Because they win. Thousands of attorneys from coast to coast make sure that when your case comes to them, they are going to defend you like no other. They are the number one injury law firm in all of America. It's because they take cases like yours to defend families across this country. It's been a crusade for John and Ultima Morgan. Do me a favor, log on. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or pound 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
Are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
Had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand.
Thank you.
We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Denny, my aunt has asked for one thing, not to unveil the SAP story. I've been offered thousands of dollars by some of you in here. Can't do it. Can't do it. Promise my aunt. that will be enough out of you. He said, the only thing I'm holding back is the Sapp story. Danny, that's not happening. By the way, the most anticipated Battle Royale tomorrow at 4:30. Already, Philly 500 is in, and so is Mark Holmes. Be prepared. Eagle fans, some of you, I know, like, rolling them, you're not going to be able to handle it. That's tomorrow on the eve of Thanksgiving. Then we got Bears and Eagles on Friday, on Black Friday. Very good. We will see you tomorrow, 2 to 6. Big Z, Joe, thank you. And we'll see you on the flip side.